Hey guys, and welcome to Little Blackbird 91. We are having the All-Star cast where we're going to discuss Ready to Love Part 2 Reunion. And I am joined by Kerry, Stacey, Tyrone, Libba, and Jay. And listen, I know you guys were screaming for them to come back, so I've brought them all back to discuss the latest episode that's gone. But before we get to that stage, listen, audience members, keep it cute in the chat, please. My moderators are going to be blocking y'all if you don't keep it cute in the chat this week, okay? Keep it cute in the chat, all right? Keep it cute in the chat. All right. Cool. But I'm going to let my guests introduce themselves as we did last week. So if you don't know them, you will get to know them quickly. We're going to go from Kerry to Stacey to Tyrone to Libba to Jay. So Kerry, if you can start for us, let them know who you are, what season you were on as well. A little bit about yourself.
My name is Carrie Carter. I was on season 4. I was second eliminated. That's me.
Thank you very much.
Hey, y'all.
It was so short. I was like, wait. Go on, Stace.
Hey, y'all. Stacey B. Season, I don't even know what the hell season I was on. It was season 4, and so y'all became season 4. So I'm 4A.
4A.
Tyrone,
season 4B, Ready to Love. It's over, so let's go.
Love it. Libba.
Hey y'all, so I'm Libba, the first lady eliminated from Ready to Love DC, aka 4B.
Love that.
Represent H-Town.
Ooh, hold on a minute. God damn.
Represent H-Town. This J.
Sir, why are you popping my ear and my drums? Cuz.
Look, we coming through. We better?
Say it again for them. They didn't hear it the first time.
Represent H-Town, man. Season, I guess I'm 3 now. Yeah, season 3. Yeah, Ready to Love. So.
Damn. My God, I was moving my ear and my drums and my body.
Okay. I'm not sure you can feel me. Can you feel me?
We can feel you. That was a problem. I can feel you. I ain't trying to feel you. You know? Nah. Listen, so Ready to Love Reunion Part 2 was explosive. I didn't think it could get better than Part 1, but they delivered. I ain't gonna lie to you. They delivered. There was so much going on that needs to be addressed.
Lord.
So I want to get everybody's first initial thoughts of the actual reunion. Just the first initial thoughts before we dive into the actual topics. Kerry, go for me. What are you saying?
Fake tears.
Oh,
God damn. She went straight there. Stacey?
Haters.
Oh. Tyrone?
Emotional. It was emotional.
Oh, okay. Libba?
Missing.
Okay. Jay?
Mine's gonna be a sound effect. Womp 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 womp.
God damn, y'all ain't holding back today. Okay. Since you went 1-1-1-1, Jay, why was it 1-1-1 for you?
The first one was fire. I felt like we kind of got a little bit underneath the surface, so forth, so on. And the second one was just, the basics. We didn't really get into how somebody felt and this and that. It was a little bit lackluster for me.
Okay. Libba, what was you said it was missing. Why?
Because I had a segment that was not aired.
Oh.
You didn't notice that? So they didn't air my segment. So, they usually air the first person eliminated from the season. And actually, they always introduce all of the castmates. They didn't do that. So they didn't introduce me. I didn't get to my segment was deleted or not aired. Same thing for Lamont. And then also for Carrington. And so I have to be honest with you guys. I was taken aback by that. It's the disregard that I did not appreciate, because it's like, here we are, just as everybody else. It takes, the first person eliminated is important. It takes like a Libba to save a Carrie, to save a Courtney. So it's layered, and so for them not to include us in that, I think it's messed up. I don't like it. And they decided to focus on the drama opposed to some of the positive lights. So
I hear you on that. Fair point. Tyrone, what about you? Emotional, why?
Honestly, there were some things that just weren't shown, right? That was emotional for the cast,
Oh,
right? And I
okay.
think it would have been some really, really good moments had they had shown that, right? Because it would have shown a lot of the solidarity, in the cast and the fact that we really care about each other. So, missing that, I feel like there are some huge points that were missed. So, yeah, that's why I was on that emotional tip.
Okay, I'm rock with you,
Mhm.
Stacy.
But okay.
Oh, what are you gonna say, Ryan? Wait, before
No,
you
it's
go,
like
Stacy.
it was crazy because it's kind of like they showed it in the promos, right? So I thought we were gonna see it,
True,
and they didn't show it.
true.
Cue my sound effect. Womp womp womp.
Stacy.
Haters, because everybody's body language was off.
Oh,
I
it
was,
was
it was,
it was
it was just like you can tell that people still ain't really messing with each other. People aren't actually trying to listen to gain perspective. I wanted to see some like loose ends tied up a little bit, and didn't get that. I mean, we don't always have to end on a happy note, but I mean, at least give me some resolve in my mind.
Mhm.
To me, it's just like, remember, the reunion was filmed like when in
August. No, November was it?
October, November.
Yeah.
November.
So I mean, that's 2 months after finishing filming.
Yeah.
So in 2 months' time, it should have been some kind of resolve attained, and people still in their feelings.
Maybe there was no resolve.
But be an adult about it. Don't be sitting there not even looking, listening, being attentive to what somebody has to say, validating their feelings or their thoughts, so that you can be mature enough to understand. Oh, okay, sis, I see where you coming from. Oh, okay, bro, I see where you coming from. My bad, I didn't mean it like that. This is how I really meant. It was still with the Fugazis, so.
The Fugazi.
God damn, I ain't heard Fugazis in a little while. Okay, for the streets. Kerry, talk to me.
So the fake tears comment.
Yes.
It was just, there seemed like there were moments where it was just like, I want this opportunity. I want it to be highlighted, so I'm gonna create these fake tears. That's what I was sensing because of the reasoning behind it. It just didn't make no damn sense. So even when we were at the reunion, it was happening. I initially was like, oh my God, he's crying. But then when I heard the why, I was like, I'm confused. Did that need all this emotion? And, it just really didn't make sense, So there was a cause for pause at that time. And even when he was done in his moment, those tears quickly dried up when he got to the back. And I was like, I was still trying to be like, are you okay? And even Libba was like, Corey, were you for real crying? Like so I was trying to believe that this was real, but I mean, the reasoning and the dryness of the tears that quickly popped up, it was the Oscar. No, not even an Oscar.
It wasn't no damn Oscar.
No. So, yeah.
Girl, the tears dried up by the time he finished his sentence.
Also, I didn't see, and maybe you covered this on your interview with Frank, Joe, but I didn't see him on the second half, which I thought was weird.
No,
yeah,
Frank
he did say.
Yeah.
He did say he couldn't be there for the rest of the part. He had to come and go.
Yeah.
He had some things he had to sort out, so he couldn't be part of the show. That's why I didn't see him much. So you just see him getting fired, and then he's got to go. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, your ladies were shooting him. Yeah, I hear. Let me get Courtney on as well, because we're talking. Courtney, welcome.
Hey, boo.
You still doing yourself up, even now.
Hey, y'all. What's going on?
What's good, Courtney?
What's up, Court? How you doing?
Hi, Jay. Hi, Stacy family, y'all.
You need to chill on that high J stuff, Courtney. Relax.
Oh,
all right, cool. I'm only playing, guys.
Hey, bro. She's going one segment at a time, bro.
let me jag you down there, Jay, so you can sit next to her. So you can stop your talking. You ain't going back up there, bro. You gonna stay down. Oh, gracious. But Courtney, we just asked everybody what their first thought was around the reunion. So just one word, and then I'll ask you why you said that one word. So one word to describe the reunion, part 2.
Crazy. It was crazy. It was draining. We were there for like 12, 14 hours. It was long. People were exasperated. I think it would have went better if a lot more people were direct. We were filming some people's beefs and journeys and arguments for like 45 minutes, an hour. We were like sitting there like, all right, y'all, there is no resolution to this. Like it was draining, but yeah, crazy. That's the biggest word I can sum it up on.
Okay. Since we're already there, because Kerry brought up as well, we'll talk about the Corey tears. Okay, we'll talk about the Corey tears. All right. So I'll ask those who are on the reunion first, and I'll open it up. So since you're already answering, Courtney, your thoughts towards Corey and the tears. What was your kind of initial response, and what was your kind of thoughts around that particular situation?
It was extra. I'm not gonna lie. It was extra. If you see my face, I looked at Mumi and I was like, it's really great. Like doing this. Like I couldn't, and I don't want to sound like I'm not sympathetic, but it just the timing of it, and it was the timing. It was just like, I mean, the Emmy goes to him because literally she asked him about the journey, and then he starts talking. He's like, and then starts crying. I'm like, what is going on here? So he starts crying, and then the host, Tanika Ray, looks at me. She kind of leans back. She's like, Courtney, can you pat him on the back? And then I gave him the church pat. I was like, I think I might have given him 2-3 pats max. And then I kind of shifted towards me, and I was like, see, she's looking at me. I'm looking at her. I'm like, I don't know. It just wasn't believable. It really wasn't. Because then we got backstage, this man was smiling, eating a granola bar, drinking some Aquafina. Like he played it off so good. So I don't know. I didn't believe it, to be honest.
I hear you. Tyrone, you were there.
So, I always try to do my best to see the other side, right? So in that situation, I was thinking, if you remember, before they asked the question on stage, they showed a clip from a recent interview. And then in the interview, he was crying, right? He started crying. And we were looking at that like, is this real? Right? Because I think they showed us in the back room. But then maybe that triggered him, right? And then I did an interview with him, right? And I was trying to do my best to try to see his side. And, like he genuinely wants to see people improve. The backstory of why made a little bit of sense to me. Like he literally has a business where he's focused on helping other people. I just don't know, how he feels, how that affects the other people that he's doing it with. And, the delivery, the timing, like all of it was just off. So, but I was with him, right? So I'm on stage and he's like talking to himself for like 2 hours. Right. So it affected him in some way. Right. Yeah. So I had to keep nudging him like, Corey, are you good? He's like, yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. And like, I didn't feel comfortable with him like that. Right. So I even called him the next day. It was like, hey, bro, I just want to check on you. You good? And he was like, yeah, I'm good. Right. Like I was just thinking like, I don't know what this man's going to do with himself after this performance. So let me call him. And the fact that like he was able to brush it off like really quickly, it just kind of made me think like, I don't think he kind of understood the brevity of it all. Right. So maybe that's just him.
I'm going to ask one time, Libba, sorry, you haven't had your say on this. Sorry. Let me, you can unmute yourself. Sorry.
So I did not believe one tear. Not one. I almost feel like he had something under his sleeve, and he was bending down. I did not believe not one tear, not one. And people, I've been saying this. I love me some Corey. I respect him, but I also feel like he loves reactions out of people. That's what he does. Okay. And so when they showed him crying in confessional, it's like, what the hell are you crying about, right? So he's crying on stage, and I think everybody was like, is he crying? Like, what the hell are you crying about? It didn't even, when he was crying, it didn't even make sense in terms of what he was crying about. You all saw a condensed version of it. It made absolutely no sense at all. Okay, so that's one thing. And when he came behind the scenes, because Carrie, she's so sweet, she was like, "Oh no, he's crying." I said, "Girl, you're faking that. Those aren't real tears." So when he came behind the stage, or where we were in the holding area, I said, "Corey, were those real tears on the confessional?" He was like, "Yeah, it was real tears." I said, "Okay. And are those real tears that you did on stage?" Yeah, they were real tears. Okay.
So do you think he was acting? You think he was acting when he was doing it?
Absolutely. And I think that it's proof, because just like Stacey picked up on it, in like 1 minute flat, those tears dried right up. Now, again, he's a smart man and he's very calculating. So, and it may have been some true reaction behind it, but I really don't think that those were real tears. I believe that those were crocodile tears. And I don't think he deserves an Oscar. I don't think he deserves an Emmy or nothing. That was a poor performance, okay? He will get a Razzie. So anyway, the other part is with Tyrone, I definitely agree. Carrie brought it to my attention. She was like, Lila, is he talking? So throughout the whole time, whenever he was on stage, he was moving his mouth.
Yeah.
We were trying to figure out, was he thinking? You know how sometimes people are thinking about what just happened and they're just recounting it. So we weren't quite sure what was going on. However, it happened throughout almost like half of the reunion. It happened. So we were all concerned.
Yeah. So to clear that up, him talking to himself was actually after the Tasia segment. So he was he was like recounting the conversation, and basically he was like, "I can't believe she lied on me," and I was like, "Corey, are you being
he actually was
right now?"
He actually was talking to himself before that.
Yeah,
it was like, yeah, you probably noticed it because you were sitting next to him, but for a while, because like I said, we probably was kind of thinking about the scripts or what to say, or maybe recounting what to say. But he looked really stressed out. Like, I'm not saying the tears were kind of out of the blue because of how quickly they dried up, but mentally and emotionally, I don't think Corey was in a good place during the reunion. I think he was really stressed out, and just seeing his the way he was behaving throughout the taping of the show. So it was kind of concerning. Yeah.
That sounds right, because I was backstage at that point. I didn't see him. Damn. So he was at up 3-4 hours talking to himself?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be funny by any means, but I know we had to go through it. Y'all did a psych eval, right?
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
We did.
Okay.
We did a psych eval online. It was like 500 questions.
Yeah, and half of them are like the same question, just asked differently.
Yeah, and
then we talked to an actual psychiatrist.
We had to talk to a psychiatrist in LA. I did a Zoom call with him.
Yeah.
I think mine was 30 to 45 minutes. He literally, dug in your childhood. Oh, you lost a parent. So how do you feel about that? Wow. Okay, cool. So how did you recover from that? He went from the before, the beginning, and the after. They asked everything for like 45 minutes. So we definitely did a psych eval. But
yeah, mine was 2 hours, Courtney. So my guy was like from the Midwest, and he did a full evaluation. Actually, it was 2 parts to it. So it was like a follow-up part. It's as you mentioned, it's a very thorough. Don't do that, Tyrone.
He needed to clarify.
Not sure. Not sure. You should have made some movements up in there.
You're not right in the head. Call me next
week. What's your IG?
Just gotta make sure that you know.
Just call me next week.
Okay. Yeah. So that's what happened.
He was like, and how long are those legs?
He did start talking to me about his life. I felt like I was damn his psycho.
You see? That's why you're there for 2.5 hours. There you go. He's not supposed to be telling you about his wife. Why is he telling you about his wife? He failed.
I have a question.
Yes, go for it.
So y'all thought it was real because when I was watching it, and then I heard y'all kind of had mentioned it last week that he was kind of talking to himself. So the first thing in my mind was he rehearsing his lines for all that time? And then like when I was watching the tears, I can tell he and Cornelius obviously go to acting class together or something because he was kind of prompting him. You got like some keywords, do it, man. And I was like, is he prompting him? Like, is he like helping him to think about what he needed? You know, because when you go to those acting classes, it's keywords that you think of or that you recall to make you be able to crown spot. And honestly, I done seen tears like that before. My kids do it every time we in Kroger and they can't get candy. And as soon as we get to that, I'll be no. And as soon as we get to that register and they see the bag of chips, the multi-pack of chips with them hot chips in it, guess what? They suck at it. Thank you. So that's exactly. I went right to my little 9-year-old and her little crocodile tears and them playing in the grocery store. No, you can't have candy.
Oh man.
Okay.
Maybe I'm just too nice. I was thinking the total opposite. You know, I was thinking that he knew that it was going to come up. He knew it was going to be tough for Corey, and he was basically saying like, "All right, you got this."
Well,
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I didn't get that at all. And remember, I'm on the outside looking in, so my opinion is I'm on the outside looking in, but I'm looking in as a cast member.
Yeah.
And one thing that I can see that separates your cast from me and Jay's season, I mean, Jay has a separate season, but I've gotten to know a few of his castmates, his season mates as well. You guys are very calculated, and not you all, but some of your cast members seem to be very calculated in their responses and the things that they say and the things that they put out. So I've developed a distrust, I guess, of some of the moments where we should be empathetic because it doesn't seem authentic.
I hear you.
Sorry.
I think it's also hard to think.
Oh, you froze, Courtney.
Get him, CC.
She'll come back. Go for it, Carrie.
What?
Because most people.
Oh,
There we go.
Courtney, you've got that Wi-Fi that ain't married. You got that Wi-Fi that ain't married.
You got that 2G.
She got that.
You know, iPhone had the button on
The
Wow,
the bars be lacking, bro.
Get me out of here.
Courtney, your bars, god damn. When some of us should be on 5G, you're on 2. Ooh.
She got AOL over there. She got the AOL disc.
You there, Courtney? No, she figured it out. Okay, so
Court, we can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you now. You've connected. Go for it.
She can't see us.
I don't think she can hear us or see us.
She can't. She's lost in a sunken place.
Okay.
All right. Who was gonna jump in? Sorry, who was gonna jump in?
I was going to say that I do recognize the friendship that Cornelius and Corey has. So I don't think that Cornelius was faking or even coaching him. I just feel like he was just being a good friend because, they're really close. So I don't question Cornelius as much as I question Corey's tears. And actually, I don't question his tears. I think he was faking it.
Oh, damn. Good Lord.
I love me some Corey, and I already let him know that. I was saying that behind the scenes. Carrie was sitting right there. I was like, Corey, were you just faking? I think you were faking. That was some bullshit.
Yeah, she didn't believe it. Not one tear that dropped. As soon as one tear dropped, her face curled up like she was disgusted. And I'm like, she's so cute. She's like, I said, girl.
Okay, so go for Jay.
He needs a friend like that that's gonna call him out, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes that gets people out of the behavior that they've been stuck in since they were a kid. And a lot of times, even as men and grown women, we will have the responses that we've carried over from our childhood that got us out of trouble. Okay, you drop tears, and then all of a sudden everything's okay, and you're in the good grace of everybody. But as an adult, it doesn't work that way, right? You drop tears, and people are like, "What you crying for, bro?" And if it's inauthentic, then they look at you even crazier, right? And I felt like that's kind of where he went to. So I appreciate you a little bit, but like, okay, well, say, bro, I ain't buying this. Let's have a conversation, you know?
I'm with you. Yeah, you're right. And I did a live with him for 4.5 hours, and a lot of that stuff came out. Yeah, listen, I told you this season. Y'all be working me. Y'all be working me this season. Okay, I'm gonna collect my coin at the end of the season. Joseph, where you at? You start paying me. But
4B, right?
4B be sending me to 4C.
I did a live with him in Liver, and I'm still traumatized from talking to him.
I saw that. I didn't even hop on. I saw y'all on live. I was like, "Ooh, child."
Baby, it was traumatic.
I'm
the
sure.
first part of it was okay. It was some meat and potato stuff. Then after we went left, y'all.
Did he do it in the dark like he did with me?
No,
Yeah, what was that about? He did it in the dark on your live.
I said, Corey, listen. If
He
you do
did.
this live, I gave him some things like, yo, if you do this live with me, I'm gonna need you to turn the damn light on. Don't get on here and be in the dark. He was like, okay, I'll be good. All right.
And he
Why
got
was
on
it
there
in
with
the
a
dark?
do-rag on tight, so tight.
So tight.
Y'all better leave a boy
It
alone.
was so tight and in a cute little bow.
Y'all better leave that boy alone. Leave that boy alone. Okay, let me ask another question. Corey had a situation with Tasia, where she was saying that he had her on rotation, and that came up. I wanted to kind of get you guys' thoughts around that, because she was adamant that he was on rotation, but he was trying to make excuses that he never really had her like that. So I'm gonna put that out to the cast members first and foremost. You guys were the closest to him first and foremost. Courtney was, since you know Corey very well, was he having people on rotation?
Don't do that.
What?
Don't do that. Don't. Hey,
We
don't
caught
ask
it.
a question
We caught
and throw
it.
a jab
We
too,
caught
Coach.
it.
Ask the question. Nah, you could have just said, "What do you think?" You said, "What do you think?" ... Because you know him so well. Don't be funny.
Corey got your internet all messed up. Go on, carry on.
Honestly, I think he was, and I'm gonna say this in a respectful way, since we're keeping it a stack. I think he was embarrassed. I think he was embarrassed of what he was building with Tasia. I think he was in the position where he was a man that was talking to a woman, and as soon as a woman, goes public with it, you're like, hold on, shh, like, come on, I feel like that's what it was, because during filming, I didn't see that. I didn't see that connection. I didn't see that connection. And we're not on everyone's dates, but even at deliberations, I really don't remember seeing that really building. So when she came out, it was news to me. And T is my friend, that's my girl. So I'm looking at it like, okay, if she's real hush hush about it and you kind of hush hush about it, it's cool if you're building something on the low. But I like a man that stands 10 toes down on what he said. If we're at the reunion, that is the time for you to be 100, right? So if you were talking to her on the hush, whether it was public or private, you should have been look, the same way Walter did it. Y'all saw Walter. Walter was like, Tasia is that girl. Y'all sleeping on Tasia. He went, and said Tasia is one of the top people on the show. Corey's he doesn't really know. If you were talking to her, she's a gem. She's a diamond. She's solid. So why not just say out loud the stuff y'all been talking about, what you see in her, the beauty you see in her, the solidness you see in her. He was afraid to even just come forward and say, look, T, I'm sorry. I was quiet about what we had going on, but you are amazing. You are beautiful. You are everything. It was kind of weird that he just was moving like that. I don't know. Because T's really just a dope ass person in real life. So.
I like your points. Thank you. Kerry.
So I do somewhat agree with what Courtney said, and also I was second eliminated, so I don't know a lot of stuff that went on, but I didn't even hear that through the grapevine. I didn't hear anything about Tasia and Courtney having any type of connection. So when that was called out on the stage, we were all like, "Oh, wait, what happened? So even afterwards, he was like really, really upset. And he was like trying to find his phone because Tasia said, Corey, remember you said that you wanted me to meet your parents. And he was like, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. And he was just like, I didn't say that. Like up and roar. And he just got really, really upset about it. And I would feel some type of way too and be pissed. Like if you're having this conversation, we know Corey be calling everybody. He be taking up a lot of folks' time, rambling and all that stuff. So I'm sure she was talking to him a lot and giving him that energy. And so for you to be on this stage trying to act like you ain't rambled my ear off for hours, talking about how awesome I am, and then on top of that, say you didn't want me to meet your parents. So I even had to tell Corey to calm down because when he came to the back, he was like, Carrie, I'm gonna get my phone out. I said, for what? I'm gonna show you what I did not tell her that she can meet my parents. I was like, what's the problem? Like, what you so upset for? Like, why are you so up in arms? So I do think that I think Corey had made his decision that he wanted to reconnect with Mumin because I saw some of that energy, and I think he was trying to hype up his connection with Mumin so she would consider giving him another chance. And when he got called out for another thing, I think he just was at his wit's end to where he can't. He's not looking good. No matter how much you're rambling, and no matter how many excuses, you seem to continue to run into these brick walls with folks. So yeah, I think I understand why TC is calling him out, and I would have probably did the same thing.
But also, I have to tell you something. Corey is the type of person where he sees a disagreement as a confrontation. And that's a huge problem because you can have a disagreement with someone and it could be a healthy disagreement and you can agree to disagree or y'all can agree to agree and y'all can keep it moving. The minute you disagree with him, it becomes conflict. And he's like, oh, I can't do this. I'm not going to argue. Look back at the date with Mumin. After the date at the pool party where he did the notes for me and Mumin called him out on it, he beat around the bush and beat around the bush and beat around the bush and didn't answer direct. And y'all know how I am. I'm like, look, it's black or white. There is no gray areas. So I think that was also a thing with T where she's like, don't beat around the bush with me. Like it's black or white. So, I don't know, y'all. I don't know. That's Corey for you.
Yes, Libo, go for it.
Okay. So I don't know if I should mention this or not, but I'm going to mention it because Corey just called me. Corey, I am not answering your phone call.
Somebody's watching.
So I'm not picking it up, sir. So I'm going to talk to you directly. So, listen. I'm going to go ahead and tell it. So, being the first woman eliminated.
Yo, JB
I was doing my last. We were going to our hotel to do like our last interview. And Corey was there. So I had the opportunity to catch up. Hey, Corey, how you doing? Whatever.
Look at Kojo. Kojo loves these moments right now.
How you doing? So one of the things that, no, I'm not putting him on speaker for this chat. We're not going to give him that much. So anyway, I had a conversation and we had a nice little conversation. And one of the questions that he posed to me was, Libba, would you do this show again? And I was like, maybe. My experience, it's quick and it's quick-lived. And he said, I said, well, what about you? And he was like, he was like, he didn't know. And that,
oh, you holding out this?
I'm just laughing.
Spit it out.
I'm gonna spit it out. Okay, wait. Let me go back a little bit. So, Carrie, you remember when you had a game night?
Yes.
Okay. And we had this game night, and it was men versus women, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And a lot of topics were like men versus women. And when I tell you, the women lit his ass up.
They did.
Because he had like a lot, his philosophies are somewhat archaic. And I would say almost as if he is a pig, So, a pig, like a chauvinist. Although he's very romantic, he still has some chauvinistic tendencies, right? So they lit his ass up, one thing, right? So then we saw each other. We were talking in the parking lot, and he was like, "Libba, you remember how they lit me up at the party?"
Anytime you in person,
Voices.
Yeah, he said.
In these voices.
He said, "Will, that's how the women on the show treated me." And I was like, "Corey, what are you talking about?" He was like, "Listen, I don't know what it is, but something happened. This was right at the party, Courtney. I didn't even tell you this." He was like, "So I did this setup for Courtney and Momine and Tasia, but Tasia was my strongest connection. And so I was supposed to set up these dates, but it didn't work out because I was eliminated." But I said, "Really?" He said, "But once I got to know Tasia, she's not my ordinary type. But once I got to know her, I started pulling back those layers, and I just think that she's a beautiful, wonderful woman." So he was like, and I feel so bad, Libba, of how everything played out. So I was like, well, the best thing that you can do is just have that conversation. And he was like, and Libba, after I was eliminated, she was the first person to call me. She was the only person to call me. And I said, okay, well, make sure that if that's important to you, make sure that you continue with that, the relationship. So I mentioned all of that because none of that was aired, right? Y'all didn't see Tasia go on any dates with Corey at all, right? Not at all. All of that was taken out. And so with that, I think that he may have felt that he was in the clear because it wasn't aired,
That's valid though, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty valid. I would probably kept it on a hush too. If nobody needs to know, it's not public. It ain't nobody's business unless
Stacey does not agree.
It's a disregard, right? So to not acknowledge Tasia and then to be mad for Tasia to say, "No, homie, wait a minute now. What we're not going to do is act like I wasn't there. And what you're not going to do is act like you invited Courtney and Amin to see your parents when I also got that same invitation. Or you said that my parents wanted to meet me as well. So don't."
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
So what I was saying is once it got called out, then he should have spoke up and said something. But other than that, technically he wasn't part of the show.
Yeah.
So,
but he's well intended. That's the thing. I think that Corey is so misunderstood, and he's well intended. But
no.
y'all need clarification?
What do you want to say, Jay, and then Kerry?
Nah, I was pointing at Stacey's face because
I was pointing to Stacey's face too.
Okay, Stacey, want to say?
Just that look on her face. I'm sorry. I'm about to text my pastor and add Corey to the prayer list. Right above the sick and shut in. I want men to be great men, and everybody talks about his potential, but then there's this disconnect with the way his actions what he puts out. And so I feel like if you have the potential, then there just needs to be somebody that helps you bring that potential out, which is usually an older man that can kind of walk you down the path a little bit. Not to say it's like the path of righteousness, but I just, if you got F-boy tendencies, but you're not really an F-boy, Stacey, you don't even have to pull out the T-shirt to save an F-boy for this one.
I got a new T-shirt for this one.
Oh, Lord. I don't even want to know what it is. I'm just putting them on my prayer list. Go ahead, Stacey, because, I always alley-oop it, and then she just comes through. Go ahead. I'm done.
So the T-shirt for this shit is pray for F-boy today. Because Jay done took him to the pastor. He want him to get guidance. So we just going to pray for F-boy. First of all, Corey, you on a dating show. You on a dating show. Why you ashamed of the dates you went on? What you ashamed of? These are 10 of the best possible women in all of the DC area. Let's start there. So don't devalidate who Tasia is. She's a gorgeous woman, highly intelligent. And no, you can't spend a block on her because I already said I don't do redos. So when you sit next to me, don't pretend like we ain't kick it a little bit. Don't pretend like I ain't get no invites. And then here's the damning part because I don't know how Tia didn't flip him out the damn chair. Then to add insult to injury with devalidating her, trying to erase the connections and things that were appropriate on a dating show, did he go and try to drop, well, I mean, you was at the bottom of everybody's. And what happened? Walter and Phil had to step in, was like, no. You not about to do that, because you might not have been, just because you ain't no number one, you ain't a number none. Some people was checking for you, including this dude right here that's acting like he wasn't checking for you. So quit that. You know what that is? That ain't just one red flag. That's like 5 red flags right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You've not lied there. You've not lied there. I think what was also what is, I think, a little bit nefarious about it is just that comment you just made there, Stacey. So I think Corey has an innocent part to him, but innocence doesn't get you off the hook. Do you know what I mean? He's 40. I'm 30. Listen,
no, he's not.
How old is he?
44.
Okay, he's 44. That's an extra.
this year.
Okay, he's old,
Damn
and we both old. We both old. What I'm saying is we're both grown.
Bullshit.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. We're apparently.
Yes. He was 40. He was 43 during filming. He was 43.
Jay.
It's a bit political. Listen,
43.
but the point I think that I'm trying to hit necessarily is the comment that he made at the end where he says, "But nobody was checking for you," is actually targeted practice. If nobody's checking for you and I went for you, what you're actually saying is I targeted you because nobody else was checking for you, so I went for you. And that actually is not that at that point. It's not innocent anymore. That is dark behavior. You choosing your prey very, very carefully.
Sit
You know
there
what I
and
mean?
be grateful. Sit there and be grateful. I get some attention.
Can I also say a personality thing that he seems to have when he deals with conflict, when he's not winning an argument, because he did it to Courtney too. He says things that are below the belt. So that was a jab. So him saying, "Oh, you were below, but I was the only one who had you on top." That was a jab. And then he also said
It was
something.
also a lie.
Right. But he also, when Courtney was going in on him at elimination, what did he say that upset you, Courtney?
He talked about my son.
Right.
Oh yeah, you said.
Who bringing people kids into shit?
Right. So it's like when he gets stuck between a rock and a hard place and he's getting called out, there are things that he says that it's like he hits below the belt. And it's like, what the hell do you mean by that? Where it takes people to like another level. So
that was the elimination date where I was eliminating him. And he that was frustrating. I mean, that was the quickest elimination date ever. Like the producers were trying to get me to come back. I was like, listen, we can do whatever, whenever, however, I don't care. But once you bring kids in this, once you bring in somebody that can't defend them as a mother, as a father, your job is to protect your cubs. So now we're about to go in, and now I'm going to go in because I will knock this whole production set over mine. Yeah. And you have no right to talk about somebody's kids when you're not a parent yourself.
What was the comment, if you don't mind me asking, Courtney?
Let me think back. I think we were talking about the notes. I think we were talking, me and Mumin had a conversation about how he lied about, he was lying to both of us at the same time. And then, the date or not the bubble date, the deliberation with Tommy, that's when it all got called out and he got eliminated that day. So I was the one that was chosen to eliminate him. So I was just like, man, I'm over this. I'm too old for this. I'm just going to eliminate him. We're going to be out, catch happy hour. I get there, and one thing I do not like, especially when I'm expressing my feelings, is don't interrupt me. I could not get more than 15 to 20 seconds out before he was like, well, and I said, Corey, hold on. Start talking again. 15, 20 seconds. Well, and then he started doing this. He started giving me analogies. Everybody knows what an analogy is, right? An analogy comparison is something, right? So he starts talking about relationships. The king of Kevin Samuels out here gonna give me a relationship advice, okay? At his own elimination date. So he says relationships are difficult. They're kind of comparison to, and he compared it to like grass or the street signs or something stupid. I don't even know what he was talking about. So I'm like, all right, cool. He's not paying attention. I let him finish, and then I start talking. He interrupts me again. I check him. The second time, gave me another analogy. And now I'm getting annoyed because when you give me an analogy and you're comparing something to something, I'm college educated, baby. You don't gotta, I get what your comparison is. Do you get it? Like, do you understand what you're talking about? Because I get it. I comprehend. So I checked him and I was like, look, I don't like how you're talking to me. You're talking really down to me. I was like, don't use these whack ass analogies. He goes ahead, he picks up his empty champagne glass, drinks whatever swig is at the bottom. This man goes for a third analogy. And he says something like, relationships are comparable to the relationship you have with your son. And then I was like, oh, hold on. He keeps talking. And I just kind of saw red because he was comparing the relationship that I have with my son as a mother to the relationship that I was trying to build with him. And there was no comparison whatsoever. It honestly didn't even make sense. He just said relationships are in comparison to the relationship you have with your son. They're difficult. It's hard to, have a relationship as a parent with a child. What does a parent and child relationship have to do with two grown adults that are having a conversation? What does that even have to do with anything? What are we even talking about? Like, it went left. Like, the producer stepped in, the camera guy stood up. Corey sitting there takes another empty swig. The last droplet out of that champagne glass. I wanted to just be like going off. They picked me up. They walked me away. And I didn't obviously cuss him out, but I was I was upset because I can have a conducive, healthy, mature conversation, but don't talk down to me. Don't cut me off because I give that same respect. I want you to tell me how you feel and let me tell you how I feel. And we can agree to disagree and have healthy, dialogue, but don't bring up kids when you're not a parent. Don't talk down to me. You got to think I was 30 years old during filming and I'm at the table with a 43-year-old man who's trying to almost son me as if I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm like, I cannot do this with your ass at all. Like, I don't like that. I really didn't appreciate that. So,
you know what's crazy though? I saw him on a live yesterday and he was talking about how he don't even date women with children. But for why? You always like, I was married and I have children. Even if you're not married and if you had children outside of marriage, whatever. How does that dictate who I am as a person, as a woman, my capability of loving someone, my capability of taking care of my mate, being there for him, being a good partner? What does I don't date women with children or a child have to do with the price of right to change? Like, I don't.
But he also said on another interview that he doesn't date women that are out of shape. He said, if you let yourself go, it's not going to work. Do y'all remember that? Mm-hmm. He said, if you let yourself go, if you are my wife and you let yourself go, it's over. It's not going to work. He also said, what was the second thing he said he doesn't do? Something about arguing or something. He was like, if my wife argues with me or disagrees with me, he doesn't like conflict. Like, he is very like
chauvinistic.
And there seems to be a lack of self-awareness and everything we discussed. I feel like all of us have kind of tried to have that conversation with Corey, just like, bruh, what you're saying. Like, we were talking not before the reunion, but we were talking about what happened for him to get eliminated. When he got eliminated, he called me. We were having like a long conversation and I'm telling him, like, as a woman, why I would also be upset. I'm like, I get why Mumin felt some type of way about you giving Courtney notes and Courtney felt some type of way about this. And I heard you said this, like, did you say that? So we were talking about it. And I said, Corey, if you go to this reunion with these excuses, you're going to get eaten alive. I said, because I'm listening to what you're saying. It is zero accountability. It seems like there's no self-awareness. And I'm just telling you this now. If you go on this reunion with all these excuses that you're telling me now, it's not going to work because you have to understand how the other person feels. And you can't be dismissive on how that person feels because they don't think like you, they're not like you. Like, you got to be aware of how you're making people feel. And they're saying, bruh, I don't like that you did this. You got to accept them saying that and don't do that to that specific person again. But it seemed like it wasn't clicking because there was, when there's ego and there's pride, there's not room for you wanting or desiring to change. Even if he does have an older person or a deacon or a pastor, whoever is going to give him guidance, you have to be willing to listen. And I think that needs to come first. Corey needs to understand where he's lacking and where he needs to correct these actions so he can actually have a successful relationship. Continue running to the same brick wall. I mean, first date king, are you going to get to your second, third, and to the altar? Or are you just trying to have a first date?
But he also would do a lot better if he apologized. the biggest problem with a lot, and not just Corey, a lot of this cast is, let's talk about life in general. The beautiful thing about life, it's okay to be wrong. You are not put on this earth to be perfect. Nobody's perfect at all. There is flaws and things that are wrong with every single person on this cast, every single person on this world. Corey's thing is, there ain't nothing wrong with him. There is nothing wrong with that man. He literally thinks there's nothing wrong with him. If you take a step back and humble yourself as a man and woman and say, you know what? I said this, I did this, I moved like this. I am sorry. I am sorry. Don't put a but on it, because the minute you put a but on it, you negate the apology. I am sorry. I am sorry, because we could move forward on a lot of different things, but it's just a lack of accountability. He just doesn't have it. He doesn't. With Tasia at the reunion, I am sorry. I am sorry that I moved like you were a secret. I'm sorry that I kept you in private with me, with the whole, situation with the elimination. I am sorry. It's not that hard, but when people have too much pride, it's hard for you to continue friendships or relationships because, their ego is blocking the blessing that's right in front of them.
Okay.
I'm over Corey.
Lib is the last voice. Lib is the last voice in this one, and we're gonna.
Yeah, I'm gonna just keep it really quick. So the other thing is, at the reunion, he was still asking people how should he handle certain situations. So that's one of the reasons why I question those tiers, because he was asking how should I go about this, or they're about to light into me. So what do I need to do? So that's part of why he's a strategist, and that's why I question his sincerity, or one reason.
Appreciate it. No, actually, I appreciate the conversation on Corey as well. Listen, everything. I know some of the audience don't like it, but they don't like anything, to be honest. So I don't really follow their crowd. But it's important to discuss this, because this is what we're talking about in the dating scene, about being unaccountable and not. There are little things like this that make you now not ready to love, right? Not ready for relationships. You know what I'm saying? And it's these little small things, but because we were talking about the tears and talking about everything else, it actually encompassed some of the frustrations that you're kind of seeing. So when we're talking about it for this length of time, Corey's not just the issue. Corey represents a lot of the issues that we see in dating. Unaccountable people that don't know how to apologize, that say stuff underneath the belt and all that kind of stuff. So I get it. We had to discuss it at that length to really get to the crux of the issue. So I appreciate you guys actually talking about it at that point. The next topic I want to talk about, because already on Corey anyway, Camille actually checked Mameen for feeling some type of way, and I was like, whoa. I was like, what's going on here? Is there a disconnect in the BGS? What's going on here, baby? I don't know if the cast members who were there can kind of speak to that moment, because it looked a little bit peak. I felt for Mameen in that moment. Old girl was like not having it, feeling some type of way, and then Camille just literally just shut her down with a little comment there. I don't know the cast members. Tyrone, you haven't spoken for a little while. What's your thoughts?
Was it to Momine or was it to everyone?
To be, I don't know. It looked like he was.
It was too Mamine. I was sitting right next to her. It was too Mamine.
Oh, okay. It was to me. Thank you for clarifying.
Because she said we're not gonna. What did she say? We're not gonna discredit his
feelings. But she shut Mamine down basically.
About Courtney.
I just want to get your thoughts on that, Tyrone.
Maybe that's just the only person she felt comfortable talking to or addressing, considering who else was on stage at the time, right? And honestly, I felt like she was saying it in general, just to the group.
Okay, fair enough.
Maybe I read it wrong.
No worries. Kerry, what about you?
Fix your face, Courtney.
What was your thoughts, Kerry?
I'm waiting my turn.
I mean,
Okay.
I from what I understand about the relationship, that's not surprising. Just the shutting her down, and they have all been hanging out, and I know that it just didn't surprise me. So they seem to treat Mameen that way. I know there's the BGS or whatever, the crew or whatever you want to call it. I haven't really firsthand been around them, but from what I've seen and a little bit of what I've seen with their relationship, that's pretty much how it is.
Are you, Courtney? What are you saying?
I mean, what was the specific question? You want me to address how she was talking to her?
Yeah, I mean, what was your kind of feelings on? Because obviously, if you saw it live, you might have a different perspective just to us. When I watched, I was like, that's cold. But I don't know, you might have been different from your perspective when you watched it.
I kind of chime in on what Carrie says. It's normal. That's what we've been seeing throughout the season. At times, I do wish that Mumin had a little bit more strength. And I'm not saying like she's weak-minded. I don't want to make it come across like that. But I think a lot of times when you have a group that kind of covers you, and we don't know what she's been through in her past, but when you have a group that's like, I got you, I'm going to cover you, I got your back no matter what, it could be a comfort zone for her. It could be a safety net. Like, oh, Zadi and Camille, they got me no matter what. I'm in a group. So that could be something that makes it comforting to her, but she's also in a group with women that are a little bit more aggressive in nature than she is. Because, I mean, regardless of me being Brown Girl Squad or whatever, Mumin is a sweetheart. She really is. She's not like them at all. She's very misjudged, and I think it's sad because she does hang around them. And you know the typical saying, birds of a feather flock together. We got that. But it's just like, I wish Mumin had a little bit more to kind of stand up to your friends, because Carrie knows. I mean, me and Carrie just had our text conversation this afternoon, and I spoke my mind, she spoke her mind, and that's my sister for life. So you can disagree with your friends and still be friends, but you got to be able to speak on things that you don't necessarily agree with, because I don't want to be friends with anybody that's a yes ma'am. I'm sorry, if you always agree with me, you're not gonna work for my life. Disagree with me, correct me when I'm wrong, tell me, give me good advice, but I don't think Mumin is able to do that. So I hope she does at some point in time in her future friendships find that strength to be able to stand up for herself and be able to say, no, this is not right.
Hey, Libba.
So I definitely caught it, but I also caught Camille's look afterwards. So because once Mumin gave her a look, like, then she tried to soften her look. Did y'all notice that? She kind of like tried to soften it a little bit. So I will say this. I've never witnessed, because I wasn't on the scene, I've never witnessed the dynamic between the ladies, right? The BSG group or whatever squad. I didn't encounter that so much. So I don't know what her dynamic is with Camille or even Zadia. I can't speak on it, but I can only say that from all the different conversations that have been going on, that she seems to be the most sweet and the most endearing. And that has been some of the encounters that I've had with her as well. Mumin is very sweet, very kind, has a great spirit. And so with that, sometimes people are like that, are really patient. And I'm not saying that she hadn't addressed stuff with them. I don't know. But as far as publicly, when people, act a certain way, I haven't heard of her like checking her friends or anything.
Okay.
What y'all laughing at?
I'm feeling the comments since Stacey eating. Jay, what's your thoughts?
I just want Stacey, who you feeding over there? You've been eating the whole interview and before the interview. We 15 minutes in plus the 15 minutes before you. That's an hour and 15 minutes.
You food shaming me?
I'm sorry. No, not at all. Not at all. I'm sorry. What's Kojo? I don't want any problems.
I was asking about your thoughts around seeing how Camille checked Mumin.
I mean, just the whole Brown Girl Squad thing, period. I know everybody's been naming it that, and I get it, and that was their name for it, but I think it was more based on Mean Girl Squad behavior. And so I just don't identify with it, man. Like, I think you do need to have friends that check you on your behavior. I've spoke about that, whether it's men or women, that hold you accountable and make you be a better person. And honestly, if you can't do that and I can't do that for you, we don't need to be cool. I'm cool to just pass you in the hall and dap you up and keep it moving. But I would like to see that in their relationship. And maybe they have it. Maybe it just wasn't on air. But I'd like to see that in those relationships.
Good points. Stace, what are you saying?
Oh, you going to stop eating for a second? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
You mad because I ain't biting on you?
I'm hungry, though. You know what? You're right. Have some food down. Give me some popcorn. You ready? Appreciate you.
First of all, look, Courtney, Carrie, Libba, Tyrone, mad respect to y'all. And I love this that y'all act like y'all are like with Barnum and Bailey, and y'all walking this tightrope above everybody in the audience. But y'all tap dancing around what y'all need to be talking about.
We
Y'all
answered a question, Stacey.
No, y'all tap dancing, and it's cute. It's cute.
We're answering a question.
It's cute though. Y'all know the issue is when you going against the head pastor of the bully pulpit, you respond a little differently. Can the church say amen? Yes, they can. Because what we've seen all season is that this is a group of people that have reached out and have bullied people and have treated the majority of the entire cast like shit for no reason. No reason. We can Cardi B it all day. What is the reason? What is the reason? It's no damn reason.
He said Mumin though. We didn't get to Zadi.
Yeah, we were just talking about Mumin.
We talking about she's what is she gonna say back to them? Because look what happens. It gets ugly. And those are her friends. And there's nothing wrong with beautiful group of women. Beautiful group of women. And clearly, as I said, Mumin is her own woman. She is smart, intelligent, gorgeous, talented, right? But sometimes when you see how everyone else was treated by your associates, it does make you reluctant in your approach with them. And let's act like that doesn't exist. Like we all know how to deal with certain ones of our friends that might pop off be a little extra spicy, that might go below the belt. We know that. We've known it. But don't act like y'all don't know why she didn't respond like that. Y'all know why. Because look who she had to respond to. And basically it looks like we're going to handle this in-house. Listen here, children. We're gonna handle this in-house.
No, I'm not saying that. Okay, Stacey.
Not you. No. Not you. But I'm saying, like in regards to Mumin and Corey, they're all friends together, you know. So I think that what she was saying is, hey, we'll talk about this outside, but we ain't gonna do this in mixed company.
Mm-hmm. But Stacey, what I am gonna say is, do you feel like at certain times, certain women, I'm gonna say in general, in the show or out the show, know who to address and who not to address, because there's certain behaviors that certain women have on the show that they show to certain women that they wouldn't show to other certain women, because she wouldn't have tried that with me. I mean, she would not have tried that with me. So I'm not saying that in like a bully type of manner. I'm just saying I'm an assertive woman. So I absolutely agree.
I absolutely agree.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely
now I got a snack, girl.
You snuck away. You snuck away. Why would have Camille tried it with you, Courtney? What would have happened?
Oh Lord.
A lot of the reason why I was raised by a single mother. My mom and my dad met in the United States Army. My mom did 32 years. My dad did 20 years. In the Army, when you're higher ranked, you're the boss. My mom did 32 years. My dad did 20. So not only was my mom the boss in the Army above him, she was the boss in our household. So I saw a strong woman that went to work and made more money than my father, that went to work and brought home the bacon, but made sure there was dinner on the table, homework was done, baths were done, school. You know, I was raised by a strong boss type of woman. So growing up, that was my role model. I wasn't raised by no slouch. My mama didn't accept that at all. So when you're raised by someone of that stature, of that magnitude, you have no choice but to be close to that level or on that same level that she is. You know what I'm saying? And Ty can account for that. Ty can really account for that. Ty knows me. So I wasn't gonna go on the show with the rah-rah to get views and to, you know, make sure production had something to show for part 2. That wasn't what it was. Camille has never stepped to me on that level, has never stepped to me. And I'm 12, 13 years younger than me, or 12, 13 years younger than her. I don't come with the rah-rah. I don't like drama. But she did that to Mumin because she knows Mumin was not gonna bite back. She knew she wasn't going to bite back. So she's like, okay, what we're not going to do is to discredit her tears. You said that to me. You wasn't talking to me.
Correct.
I said there was nothing to address. I didn't have to come back at her. You were not talking to me. So, you know what I'm saying? Certain women address certain women because she feels like she could have got away with it. Cool, Ma. That's your friend. You talk to your friend. I'm not your friend. You wasn't talking to me.
It was mad disrespectful, regardless.
I don't talk to my friends like that. I'm gonna say that on that.
Okay. So let me ask. Obviously, I'm going to keep it flowing nicely since we're already talking about Camille and Cornelius. There was a lot of. I don't know if the camera was doing it on purpose. The camera might have been doing it on purpose, intentionally trying to catch them with the looks, because throughout the whole episode, I'm seeing them. They were. I don't know what happened. I don't know. One of you guys pissed them off or whatever, but they looked like they were fuming. Camille and I don't know if they were. I don't know what was going on, but Camille and Cornelius, specifically more Camille, she was in her face visibly anguished. So I don't know what was going on. I don't know if some of the people who are on the reunion can share a bit of light in terms of what was going on, because it looked like they were on red. They were on 10. I don't know what was going on. Was there something else happening at the time when they were filming this part that they were so visibly frustrated? No?
They walked in frustrated. Like that whole crew. Nike walked in with his chest puffed up. Zadia walked in with her chest puffed up. Camille, Cornelius, all of them walked in like that. So
yeah, but part one they were a little bit angst, but part two their face was literally.
Was it when they were talking about Aisha and Dante?
Because the focus wasn't on them
the whole entire time.
I know that there was some frustration because Cornelius wanted to have a moment of giving a plaque thing. I
heard about this. What was this plaque thing? Camille put it on her page.
Something that a gift that he wanted the moment on TV. Now, if you're gonna give a gift and from the heart, it don't need to be on TV. It could be behind whatever. But they kept moving the plaque around so he can be able to give it to her on TV. And I think he felt some type of way because he wasn't able to.
I think.
He felt some type of way because he didn't have that moment to give her plaque on TV. But he gave it to her in the back. So
what was the
he gave it to her in the back, and they redid that scene 3-4 times, and it was almost like an action. And after the second time, she walked up to him, tears over the plaque, tears. Like real
it was like a plaque of about her being a mother to her son. From what she posted it, I think.
Oh, okay. So he wanted to give that to her.
Yeah, on TV.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I also feel like the part of the frustration is the order of what was happening on the reunion. So her face was still like that because that was still kind of not too long after the I'll F you up moment, So I think that was part of, they were still kind of fuming from that. It was highly intense. Like it was out of 13 hours. I want to say it was intense. A good 10, y'all? Like a good 10 hours. It was just intense
and true enough. Like, and everybody can probably agree to this. On the reunion, they don't prepare you for 12 hours. They prepare you for like 6 hours. Mm-hmm. So at the end of the day, you look at your watch after 8 hours, like, say, bro, I got stuff to do. Like, y'all got my booty hurting from sitting in the chair all day. Mm. Like, it's just, it's not a comfortable situation. I don't know about y'all's food, but our food was trash. They had.
Our food was good, Jay.
Yo, your season, Jay, they finished you off, man. Your season, they finished you off.
It was nasty.
Somebody off.
Y'all's ratings brought more money for our season.
Thank you. Right. Y'all over there had restaurant food. We had, at the end of the day, when we left, after 12 hours, they gave us sandwiches. We had granola bars and, little Cheez-It packets and stuff like that.
I really, honestly, her faces were like that the whole day. So let's just.
In one of her faces, and I don't know if y'all caught this, and because she gives magic when she makes her faces, right? It's like TV magic, and I'm sure that's one of the reasons why they picked her. So they were talking about his celibacy, and her face, they scanned her face when they talked about his celibacy, and she kind of halfway rolled her eyes like, here we go, be crap. You know what I mean? As if she wanted to say, we been done did it. You know what I mean? So that's what I got from it, but y'all were there, and so it could have been one of those where they cut to somebody's face, but it really wasn't at the same time. But usually during a reunion, they don't do that. So did y'all get water liver? Is that what? Oh, everybody
Cast
drink
members.
water. Okay, all right.
Cast members, want to
Didn't
talk to that?
no girls say it been popping off with them?
Who? Oh, the side.
Should I look at Courtney?
Does anybody want to answer that?
Courtney, would you like to answer that question? Didn't I hear that?
Do we need to address it specifically?
I think it's actually really important for me to wait my turn.
Are you doing the frozen face thing, Courtney? Look, let me tap you.
Tap my hand here. Hold on, one more hand.
Woo! Okay. Now
Courtney,
that it's been brought to a few people's attention, let's clear the air.
Let's clear the air.
I'm just asking about
Gogo's
facial
ready.
expression.
Let's
If you
clear the
have
air.
something
Let's clear the air.
further,
So
We should. It's foggy right now.
So the girl, I get on live after I got on live on part 1 reunion. You know, we do lives every Friday. So Libba, not the popcorn, ma'am. You could have chosen another snack. I get on live.
I'm
You literally
right now.
I got on live on Friday. Normal after reunion, we're all together at Dante's house. The girl that everybody's talking about actually used to work for me. I was her boss. Y'all know I work for a big service hospitality company in DC. I have 140 employees under me. She's one of 140. We didn't have a friendship as far as we've never been out for drinks. We've never been out to dinner. Like I've been out with these girls. But she definitely, when she stopped working for the company, I think she stopped working for the company at some point during the summertime. And I was still working for them. We kept in touch kind of via DMs, right? She hopped on the live and she was like, I cannot, pretty much long story short, I cannot take this no more. Shorty was fed up. And let me tell you something, I got off the phone with her after that live. And she had a couple text messages and a couple videos and a couple pictures.
Videos?
Videos. What do you mean? Videos. Talk to us. What videos?
Your song for a second. They got the videos. They got the videos.
Got the videos.
Yeah, she definitely, and I'm one of those people like Libba, Carrie, y'all know, I'm like receipts type of queen. Like I'm not just gonna take something and run with it. I'm like, girl, delete the name out of the phone. Let me see the phone number, because I got his phone number. Let me see the phone number.
That makes sense.
It was his phone number. Text messages, pictures of them, like super like coupley type of things. So I thought it was kind of weird that we're running with the this is my publicist type of story. Do y'all like hug your publicist like that?
Nah, never.
Because if y'all go on Kamisha Reviews, there's a picture of them and he's got his arms wrapped around his waist. She's got the arms around the shoulders, leg cocked up, like, I mean.
Now on these video, I mean, we're gonna need audio description. I mean, what was happening on the video? Give us a Netflix audio description. Was there anything that was incriminating enough to make it seem that they actually were doing a thing, or was the video more of a case of a sweet thing? I need to, you know what I mean?
Glasses.
Okay, so I'll give one video. I'll give you one video that I actually saw, and I will let her finish it because that's between them, right? The one video was him saying he was single.
He said what?
He said he was single. That was a week and a half after the reunion.
People lying to my face. Oh my God.
A week and a half. And Carrie and Libba know me. I'm not a liar.
Jesus
a
is
week
Lord.
and a half after. Laugh, kiki. Yeah, what are you talking about? I'm single. Now, a lot of people asked on Friday, oh, if that's your friend, why didn't she tell you? I'm like, I'm gonna be honest. Like I have a lot of friends. I have a lot. I probably have like 100 girlfriends in general. Like over my 30 years, between college, post-grad, like I have a lot of friends.
Girl, we know we grown. We can't keep up with everybody all the time.
Literally, one thing about me, I don't. Carrie and Libba can't even tell you who I'm talking to right now. Like y'all don't keep. There's certain friends that I don't talk about your relationships. I have business friends. I have mom friends. I have Virginia State University friends. I have post-grad friends, DC friends, LA friends. Like, she's my business friend. So I don't care about her relationships, and I didn't care about Cornelius. You could talk to whoever, girl. Wait,
Courtney, can I ask you a question, please?
Go ahead, mama.
Okay, so one thing that I saw I want to say yesterday maybe. One thing I saw yesterday was an argument coming from, I believe it was Camille, that was like, oh, she's just looking for clout. So what would Alex have to gain from releasing this information?
Right.
Alex is a celebrity publicist.
So what can she gain? What can she gain from our Q level celebrity?
I'm gonna be honest.
I mean, we can't even be like a Y. Like we all the way at the end of the alphabet. Like
I feel like if she was somebody that didn't have a status at all, if she was just some like, you know, I mean, she was a Redskins cheerleader for a few years, a Washington Redskins cheerleader for a few years. She's a celebrity publicist. If you go on her page, she's interviewed A-list celebrities. I'm not trying to not ready to love, but we're not A-list celebrities. You know what I'm saying? Like, she doesn't need to step down to interview them. My personal opinion, because I check my friends, Carrie and Libba know, I have no problem calling my friends out. I was actually kind of bothered that she talked to him. I was really annoyed with her because I was like, you know, he used you, right? You know he used you. He used you because you're a publicist. You could get him into a red carpet event. There's a video on her page where he was around Maya. He used you. He used you and he actually played you. And she understood that. She was upset about that. So to answer your question, I don't really know what he could get from her. Besides,
she was a cute girl though too. It's not like she was.
Beautiful.
Yeah, she's a cute girl. I didn't see all of it. I just saw some snippets and I was like, okay, she's cute. I could see, you know. All right.
You both got some taste.
No, she's absolutely beautiful. And again, the platform that she did it on was not the right platform. I think she was just fed up. And a lot of times, myself included, women, sometimes we react and we think before we speak, or we move before we actually process things. You know what I'm saying? So again, my conversation with her after that, I definitely told her, girl, you knew better. Like, if you know your own status, you know what you bring to the table, look at him and look at you, and then look at him and then look at you one more time and say, what can this man do for me?
So I think the more key question here is Camille aware that was Camille a part of this ruse, or is Camille getting played too? Is Cornelius lying to both of these women? Because this is also plausible that, you know, Cornelius could be playing both of these women. I'm just gonna have to ask that question to the panelists: is Cornelius playing both women?
So I was told. That, oh wait. Last thing before y'all go. I was told that she actually reached out to Camille and they had a conversation. So y'all can.
When did she reach out? Like when? Recent or?
So when all that was going on?
She posted, Camille posted a screenshot of it.
Yeah, she did.
That screenshot was Cornelius' phone. Like, let's ask a question to the panel. How did Camille get a screenshot of Cornelius' phone?
Oh Lord.
Was it A
screenshot of
to her? Was
Jesus.
It B, she went through his phone, or was it C, not A or B?
We got multiple choice answers, of course.
Go ahead, Jay. I'm waiting on you.
I don't know the whole situation. So what was the screenshot of?
A conversation between
the girl and
the girl.
It's got to be him sending. Yes, I'm assuming if it probably wasn't something that was damning for him, he would have sent it to her. Just said, "Hey, babe, this is what the conversation was." You know.
I just think it's interesting when you try to discredit something so hard. It's obvious that you're guilty of some stuff. Wow. And even people been playing like snaps or of them, Camille and Cornelius on live. He just looked defeated and quiet, and she was like, "It's not true. We're above this. We're not worried about this. We're good." You know, and it's like, if that's the case, then why are you on live trying to over-explain, continue to explain things? You know, it just makes you look more guilty, and there's no reason for this woman to lie. Like, who is Cornelius for her to just make up some shit, thinking that she's clout chasing? Like, what benefit is she really going to get out of a lie? You know. So I think again, the lack of accountability, the delusional shit that keeps happening with Camille and all of them, never, you know, owning up to what's really happening.
No, but I mean, for someone that likes limelight and attention, this is a perfect way. This is a perfect way to change the narrative of who you are, and gain a different type of empathy or sympathy from people it's a good way with season 5 starting Friday to keep your name afloat another week. I
Yep.
mean, it's great timing of it all. My problem with it is, what the hell is the problem? If you mess up, say you mess up. This is a problem why people think relationships, like us and us who put in work and effort on the show, like us who's really out here looking for love and trying to establish these relationships. This is why people think we're fake as hell. Because you can't be accountable and own up to dumb shit. We all make mistakes. We ain't perfect. Y'all dating. Y'all are dating. You're not married yet, so it ain't nobody's mistress. You're dating. Now, if you're dating exclusively, yeah, okay, you cross the line. But just say, hey, I messed up. Hey, it's a lot going on right now. I'm still trying to adapt to all of this attention and where I am right now. And yeah, I messed up. But this my girl and we working through it. That would sit better with me than the bullshit.
Stacey, to summarize it, my biggest thing about it, it's not Camille is just the victim or my friend is just the victim. I really think he played both of them. Just to be so honest,
girl, everybody playing everybody. I know that's your friend, but everybody playing everybody. It's all some bullshit.
When he got caught, he blamed her, and when he got caught, he blamed her, and he's kind of seesawing back and forth. You know what I'm saying? And that's not representation of just all men. I don't want people to be like, oh, men ain't shit. No, that's how he decided to move. You know what I'm saying? And
Courtney, how's you and Cornelius' relationship also?
Oh,
today?
I'm just talking about the thing.
What kind of question, Jay?
I just for context.
That's a great question. I mean, I got a couple text messages too, but
now you gonna hit the Cheez-Its on us? Like you ain't ate all day.
I'm trying to be like Stacey when I grow up.
Looking at this situation, Tyrone, what you think?
Honestly,
my birthday's in 4 hours, dog.
That's the way I see it, man. You either gonna show a video of the man smashing his chick or not, right? Like, what are we still talking about?
Wait, what?
You know what I mean? Like, what is she gonna get out of it, right? And is she trying to call Cornelius out, or is she trying to get at Camille, right? Like, in the end, we've been talking about them for 20, 30 minutes. So like Stacey said, right? Maybe they could all be in it. Corey too, since he was the one.
He for sure.
Right? So I'm only saying that because they're saying that, Corey is the one that took the pictures, right? So, like, in the end, like, I don't want to talk about, other people's sex life. Like, I don't really care, right?
All right, freaky
Tyrone, we didn't ask you for sex life. We asked you for your opinion on what's happening.
All right, freaky time.
Yeah, that's my opinion. Like, I actually wanted to, like, kind of defend Camille a little bit because of
defend her. That's what we're asking for your opinion. Defend her.
Because
don't worry about the sex life. What was asking for that?
And it was to a previous question, right? When you was trying to say, when you was asking maybe that she was targeted or whatever. But we actually had a conversation, a little tiny conversation when we were there. And we was like, damn, like Camille has been in every single segment. Why? Why is she even on the couch right now? It got nothing to do with her, right? But she was literally in the same seat all morning, right? Everyone could get up and leave. Camille was sitting there all morning. It was like, she was almost like a statue there. And I remember being like, you good? Like, why are you here? And she was like, I don't even know why I'm here. And we were talking about trying to capture faces, right? I was cognizant of it too because all of the shit that I was getting about my eyes, right? And I'm like, if I slip up for a split second, fucking cameras is gonna show that, right? And now I'm crazy again for another 3.5 weeks, right? So I could understand, like it's frustrating when she's there for hours upon hours upon hours. And if you slip up 1 second, the cameras are going to be right there. So I can understand why she would be frustrated. But this whole, like, we either going to show video, we're going to show actual sexual intercourse or not, right? It's just frustrating.
Courtney, is that what video was about?
Why do we need to see an actual video about sexual
Because all
sexual
the he
acts?
say,
Because he's freaky time.
all the he say, she say, going back and forth. Who's got
Tyron,
what to
I want to
prove,
no. Let me put
who's
this
winning,
perspective.
who's
Let me put
not
this perspective.
winning.
Tyron,
Yeah.
Let me give you a perspective. Imagine your girl gets called out that there are videos and evidence. Another man comes out and says, "I was sleeping with your chick." You gonna tell? Listen, I was sleeping with your chick. You now gonna be asking, "I need to see video evidence before I believe everything you saying." And he said, "Listen, I got this evidence. Other people have seen it. Why would you want to have to go through the whole process?"
And what if my chick is saying I ain't do that? Right? You gonna tell me not to trust my chick? Not to trust my wife?
If more than one person says they've seen evidence, you better believe the other people. If more than one person says they've seen evidence,
show me what you got. Show me what you got. So
more than one person.
If it was me and someone said that,
but remember, the girl has already reached out to the other person. So if I now reach out to you and I show you this video, you better believe it. Why are you wasting time?
And post a video, make the shit public then.
No, why would you? Tyron, what the hell?
Wait.
Why are you going to the absolute extreme?
It's frustrating, man. It's frustrating.
He's trying to get his birthday popping
When
off.
they call out other celebrities, they don't be bullshitting, right? They be like, "Yo, this is me. This is dude in the bed." Boom. You can't deny that, right?
Okay, cool.
So you want to see boom in the bed picture first before you?
You're either gonna see it or
But
not.
see,
I don't wanna keep
the problem I have with
talking about what
Hold
ifs,
on.
right?
So what you're saying is you have to see an actual video of
This is my problem.
to believe it?
No, it's not just that. But
I'm
we're now.
saying that. Yes, Courtney. Yes, Courtney.
We're now encouraging mad behavior, bro. Listen, if we're now encouraging mad behavior, we're now waiting for, and man, have been in this position before. You know when you're out here doing madness, and the girl's taking a photo of you in the bed. It's like, bro, why would you? I don't want to start encouraging people to prove that you've been out here in them streets. It's not necessary. You know what I'm saying?
What I'm saying is, I don't want to continue to talk about the he say, she say. It's gonna either they did it or not. You're gonna prove that he did it or not.
Yeah, but Courtney came out and just told you that she had seen receipts. Why do you have to have anything more?
Receipts? Like how much? Let's go.
Nah, T, you're
it wasn't
mad.
confirmed.
I can't rock with you, man, on this subject.
How was it, Tyrone?
Are you confirming it?
How was it?
Are you
confirmed?
confirming it?
What do you need?
I didn't hear the live. I didn't listen to the live. I just know you was there. So and you still didn't say how much you saw. You were just kind of alluding to videos, alluding to pictures. But are you confirming it?
Tyrone, if you have not seen it live, then maybe you shouldn't be commenting on it. What are you talking about? You have to watch it. She showed Tyrone. She showed pictures on the live.
What pictures of what?
Why don't you watch the live? And
you ain't hear this whole segment. You done missed.
Tyrone, what have we been listening to this whole entire time, bro?
Tyrone,
what I'm saying is,
Tyrone has been so damn gay on stuff. It doesn't even make sense.
No,
it doesn't even make sense.
All I'm saying is it's either going to be a conclusive picture of them having sex or them in another city together, right?
That's what the picture. They had a picture of them in New York.
They had sex,
showed a picture of them together.
Yeah, there was multiple pictures of them hugged up, not in a friendly way.
I saw those pictures.
Yeah.
Right?
So and that was in New York, so it kind of lines with the story she told.
So for the people, because I haven't watched it either, you guys. I mean, but can you summarize, or can someone summarize what happened? Because it sounds like Tyrone, since he didn't watch it, and the people in the chat or whoever else is watching it, maybe it's a good idea to recap it just a little bit.
Tyrone say, is there a dark blue just the dry cleaner or not?
Monica.
Tyrone said he needs to see evidence.
No,
that's fair enough. I can't fight with it. Not everyone sees things the same way, so I understand.
I get it, right? And there's pictures, and all I'm saying is, like, there's pictures of me and females on my team, right? Going places. Not like that, right? We're not hugged up like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But that, in the end, kind of still doesn't prove anything.
Tyrone, what do the pictures look like? Are you just like doing a church like side hand behind your hug? I want to know. Tell me.
I'm not oblivious about the pictures, right? But the pictures still ain't them having sex.
So they have to
Wait, did they have sex?
I
didn't know they didn't have sex. They didn't have sex.
They didn't have sex.
They didn't
She
have
admitted
sex.
they didn't have sex.
Yeah. They didn't have sex. They were sleeping in the same bed and they were chilling and everything like that. The best way to prove somebody that they're mad. So
she mainly was calling him out because she said that he lied. He basically lied. The time frame that they were hanging out, she thought that he was playing around with Camille, like it wasn't a real relationship, like it was for fake, because that's what he was telling her. she started to really like him because he was treating her as if he liked her, he was going to choose her. And then he kind of played her, and it made it seem like what they had was absolutely nothing. After she said they went on trips and did stuff that was not as friends. So that's what she, like, I guess, you know, her calling him out was just basically like, you full of BS, because now you're on the reunion saying y'all are exclusive, and based on the time frame, that's not what you told me. So I think she's just, you know, I don't think that as a woman, I don't think that she's lying. I don't think she's clout chasing. I don't think she's trying to do something to get back to Camille. She don't even know that woman. So I think that it's on Cornelius, you know, and that's why, once again, he needs to own up to his part of things, you know, and it seems like he always wants to dust it over and act like he's just victim on everything, you know. He was a victim of Courtney and her sexually touching him. He's a victim of Camille being aggressive and trying to grab on him. He's a victim of this woman saying that she is lying and she's trying to ruin his relationship, whatever they're trying to say. So
I don't care about that. He wants to see them having sex.
He continues.
No, he's not saying.
In Tyrone's defense, Tyrone wants to see
more evidence,
something conclusive to say.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, because he didn't see it. I understand what you're saying, Tyrone.
I get what Tyrone's saying.
But he also didn't watch the live.
But at the end of the day,
hold on. Jay was gonna go. Go, Jay. Jay was gonna go.
Tyrone, I get what you're saying. I think in this situation it's interesting because we all know publicists, right? Publicists are known for keeping everybody.
Yep.
So she's dealing with A-list, you know, whoever, and the fact that she needs to feel like that she needs to come forward with this, then there's something to it. To me, because I've had two publicists, and at the end of the day, for different businesses or whatever case is, the stuff that I held, conversations that I had with them were like having them with my attorneys. You know, there was definitely client privilege there, and I've never seen any of them come back and say something, whatever cases. So it's interesting that this is actually with a publicist who is not like a brand new publicist, but somebody that's been in the business for a while and deals with high level clientele.
So
otherwise it wouldn't have hit my radar.
Yes, Tyron, go for it, Tyron.
Do you feel like that could be hurting her? The fact that she would have these relationships with her clients?
I don't think she wasn't his publicist.
Okay.
Yeah. So what she was saying, and I know you didn't see, I actually watched it because I was on a road trip. So what she actually said was, you know, that was the cover up was, okay, we're going to pose as if I'm his publicist or whatever case is. So that way it wouldn't cause any issues, which I make sense too. But
okay.
Yeah. So it's hard if you haven't seen it, it's hard from a position. I understand where you're coming from, bro.
All right. Let's talk about another topic.
No,
Good.
Wait,
go for it.
Can I ask something? While we got Tyrone on the mic, man,
go for it.
You my hero, Mr. Shoot Your Shot himself. You know what I'm saying? Talk about dribble up and hit the last minute 3-pointer with the Steph Curry.
From the logo.
Was that a real shot?
Hey, that's your new nickname. Your new nickname for me is Logo. I'm calling you Logo. Logo.
Was that a real shot? What do you want to know? I want to know. Was it a real shot?
Was it a real shot?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nah, he had the whole Denzel voice. He had the eyes set, the eyebrows.
Yeah, I mean, depending on her response, I'll take her out. Hell yeah.
I'm proud of her. And I think there was a lot of other brothers sitting there watching it, like, man, who's gonna shoot that old girl? You know? I'm proud of you.
She's beautiful. She's beautiful.
Logo, change your name up there, man. Instead of top logo.
Came in clutch. Hit with a fadeaway. So, I mean, has there been any advancements, Tyron? Are you really shooting a shot after? No, you didn't shoot a shot after.
Are you dating anyone right now, Ty?
Nope.
Stacey, what's up?
Is some lucky lady gonna celebrate?
Ty, are you dating anybody?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Ooh. Don't tell me they got a publicist on you too.
Hey, Coach, I know Ty used to date my older sister now.
Let's get it. You know I ain't gonna lie.
You're my big brother.
Right? You know
I'm
gonna keep
my
it.
big brother, Ty.
Ty, you dating somebody?
We had a conversation, Courtney. If you want to talk about it,
talk
about it.
Baby, I'm a Leo, so what's up? I roll. What's good?
Yeah, man.
Tell
Okay,
her,
since
Tyron.
we talking about it, no, I'm not dating. I feel like I did a stand-up thing because I felt like where my life was going. Yeah, I did date Courtney's sister. I really care about her. So I reached out and was like, how do you feel about giving it a try? Right?
Come on now,
Like
son.
I would even move.
Come on.
Are we talking about this right now?
Yo, we
Go
are.
ahead,
So
Ty.
come on,
I'm
son. You
I'm
preach
be
the choir.
45 tomorrow. I'll be 45 in 2 hours. I don't
Yeah,
care.
come on.
There you go.
But I did reach out, right? I did reach out because I wanted to know if we could actually make it happen. And what was that, 9 days ago?
Mhm.
And I didn't get a response. So I'm single.
Oh,
Say, Courtney, I'm gonna need your
Courtney, why haven't
Your
you
sister
been
out here
home?
doing that, breaking hearts, Courtney.
so your whole
Come on, you said it. Courtney.
So your sister be out here
You know
breaking
I ain't
hearts,
gonna
Courtney.
never lie.
Hey,
You know I ain't gonna
And you was
never
coming
lie.
out here with that
You know,
chest.
always tell the truth
You
and
trying to
myself.
call him?
See, I feel you, brother. Don't even worry about that.
dang, Courtney.
Come on, Courtney.
Courtney, you gonna need a timeout.
Dang,
You gonna go regroup.
You came out here heavy with that.
They came out with chest.
You ain't date nobody? I mean, you ain't date nobody? Nah.
Meanwhile, you knew what was going on behind the scene. What are you trying to do out here, Courtney?
Come on, Courtney.
Ty. I just want to say
Don't
this.
tie him now.
No. I do want to say this. I actually do want to say this. I do. Him and my
I'm
sister
gonna-
used to date how long ago, Ty? 10?
It was like 10 years ago, 10, 12 years, 10, 11 years ago. It was a long time ago.
They actually, and Ty won't admit it, they actually still love each other.
Oh,
It sounds like
I've never denied that.
it. Sounds like it. He said that.
I've never denied it.
So if we're gonna talk back to the conversation that we talked about, the
Yeah.
reason why I don't want to say hasn't texted you back or called you back, a lot of the reason why is because the proposition that you gave is a big proposition.
Tyrone, don't tell me
And
you've
I
been
think
doing
it's
this
so
thing again,
beautiful.
Tyrone.
Yeah,
I think it's
I know this.
beautiful, Ty. You know how I feel. You are an amazing, amazing man, and that proposition is not a 24-hour response.
God
But I mean, you
damn.
gotta say something
Come on,
that you
we
gotta
have
live
been-
in mind.
Yeah.
We have been
Think
going back
about
and-
it.
we have been going
No,
back
it ain't
and
on
forth
time
for
right
like
now.
10 years, right? Like I mean, I understand. Like, since we are being honest, like I don't even think I even touched her in what 7, 8 years, maybe.
Is
So
that-
I So I
Look
understand.
at Jay's face.
Physical. So I understand, right? I get it, but it's not like we haven't been cool. We haven't been having conversations for all these years. We both know how we feel about each other. I'm sure, and we've had multiple conversations about the future and the potential. So, and in the end, don't take 9 days to respond. Say something.
I hope it
So
works.
tell your sister, Courtney, tell your sister to say something to
I'm
Tyrone.
gonna
honestly, all jokes
put your
aside,
shits on the line for $1,000.
No, where's your sister at? You gonna bring her up like that?
No, I hope it works out because Ty is slept on, and Ty is an amazing, amazing, amazing man. He is literally like my big brother. Like literally,
Oh.
checks on me, calls me, everything. Ty is amazing. We've been saying that since day one. We've been saying that as long as we've known him, and you know, I love you to death. So
Yeah,
No,
but you know what,
Ty.
Tyrone? Let me tell you this
Keep
now.
going after what
Tyrone.
you want, Tyrone.
Tyrone, I love you more than Courtney says she loves you. So I'm gonna tell you this now. I'm gonna tell you this for free. If it's not a yes, it's a no. I don't want to hear what Courtney's got to say about 24 hours. If it's not a yes, it's a no. So don't bother about that. There's chicks waiting for you, sir. There's chicks waiting for you. Don't listen to her, man.
Right.
Out here.
Right.
Real
Yes,
talk,
sir.
Courtney. So y'all was tripping when Frank didn't call Momeen like after the show and all that stuff. So your sister gets a pass.
Exactly.
Now you see what you done, Courtney. You see, you done,
Exactly.
you done put your sister here on blast.
She
But
goes,
hold on, what we're not gonna do, Jay? What we're not gonna do? Typical black response. What we're not gonna do. This is a different story, Kojo. This is a different story. You know the reason why? That's my sister, and
Big facts.
that guy over there. That's
Tyron,
that's
don't listen
my
to her.
brother, right?
That's how you die
Frank
there.
and Lumine, I didn't know what was going on with them. I got eliminated like halfway through.
I'm
So
I'm
that
just
was
messing with you.
them.
I'm not. Bro, that's
Jay,
how you
don't
die an
tell
early
his
death.
side.
Tyrone, that's how you die an early death. Don't listen to her. You go about your business, sir. Okay? Plenty more chicks in the sea that are swimming. You understand?
Look me in
Plenty
my
more
eyes.
chicks in the sea that are swimming.
Oh man.
Jay,
Kojo, don't look at her. Look at me and Kojo.
Yeah,
Look
we
at-
ain't
Don't
going.
look at her. They gonna get you killed, sir. Okay? Don't listen to them. We know If it's not a yes, it's a no. Okay, we gonna move on.
It's a
We
no
got
on
ghosting
red.
people
Come
in
on.
2022. We grown. Say
Bruh.
what you mean what you say, and let's keep life moving.
Yeah. Yes.
She didn't respond because she ain't want it. Now let's keep on. All right, listen.
It's right.
So we had obviously since we're talking about that, we had Walter and we had Sabrina. Okay, all right, and them two was, I mean, after especially my live yesterday as well. I'm sure you guys have your own thoughts and opinions
Save it.
on that as well. I want to get you guys thoughts. What's your thoughts, Libba? You looking concerned? You looking like you knew you want to say something? You know the popcorn's fully well now digested.
Yeah, no,
Talk
I
to
was
us.
just, So what's your question, Tojo?
How do you feel about the Walter Sabrina segment on part 2? You know, they were talking about their unfortunately failed connection. There was miscommunications, it seems. Walter took a little bit more extra on a live yesterday too. So what's your kind of thoughts around their segment?
So my thoughts is that I was rooting for Sabrina and Walter. Like I really wanted to see them work, so just to see them in person, they have like really good chemistry. But I get it. I feel like I think Sabrina said it best, is that she felt like, she knows what it feels like to be desired, and she just wasn't desired. He didn't put in the work, and therefore she had to bid or do, And I think for Walter, he felt like, but you've been number one all along. I chose you, so it definitely sounds like miscommunication. But I applaud the sister for choosing herself, and I think it's unfortunate for Walter that he did not communicate effectively, and there are a lot of things that he could have done better. And I think, and I mentioned this to Walter before, not to say he doesn't want to be called a pretty boy or anything like that, but there are some men who are used to women pursuing them. And therefore, they don't have to do much of the work because they're used to women coming to them all the time and doing whatever they need to do. And I feel like he just kind of he missed the ball on this one. But I just hate that it turned out the way that it did. And then to see how things are playing out in some of these interviews, it's like, oh man, this is just it's unfortunate. So, but I was rooting for them, and I can see that she was hurt at some point, and I can definitely see that he was hurt as well, and that he was caught off guard. So sometimes you got to pay attention.
I hear that. Carrie, what was your thoughts?
So Sabrina, my girl, I love her to death. She's one of the ones I'm super close to as well. Honestly, I absolutely was rooting for them as well, like Libba said. But after that live yesterday, child, there was a lot of things that was revealed that make sense with what she was feeling. So, based on what his feedback was and what he was doing outside of the show, well, yeah, he's not going to make his connections the way he should have been making them because he was doing shit on the side that was taking his focus away. So, and Sabrina grown. She has been there, done that. She's lived a lot of life, and I think she at this point knows what she wants and what she deserves. And she wasn't getting that from Walter. And as you can see, like when Sabrina does her interviews and even at the reunion, she speaks a lot of the truth and she's not gonna sugarcoat shit. So I think Walter used to sugarcoating, and Sabrina wasn't coming listen to the bullshit, So I'm proud of her for not just going through and saying yes just to save face on the show. I think that does show that she genuinely was looking for love and that she was ready for love and that she wasn't about to play and act like she's in a relationship just so they can be relevant after the show. If I knew somebody was playing with me, I'm not going to place claims on them and where other people can't shoot their shot just because, I want to save face for 15 minutes. So I totally get where she stands. Love Walter, though. That's my boy. I love Walter. But he was, based on what he said on that live, it just kind of adds everything up on what Sabrina was saying. So.
I hear you. Courtney, what's your thoughts? Walter, Sabrina segment.
I think Walter was one of a few people that needed to do a little bit more maintenance before the show.
Sorry, what? I know you're not saying that. Well, maintenance.
Maintenance, like therapy, like just
Oh
working
my
on
god, thank
themselves,
God. Because you know what maintenance now means?
What does that mean now?
What?
What?
Doing
It
the
means getting down. Like, you don't hear what was said?
I never heard that either.
I've never
Having
heard
He said
sex,
it
that's
yesterday.
maintenance?
Oh man.
Oh,
When you said maintenance, I was like, Courtney, what are you trying to say? You want to have maintenance with Walter? I was like, God damn.
No, I was talking about like maintenance,
My
like
bad.
working. I think a lot of people, they went onto this show and they weren't prepared for it to like date in this style of dating. And I just someone said enough maintenance. I think a lot of people kind of fabricated that whole I'm ready to do this, ready to love thing, and didn't do the necessary steps to do the process and the maintenance and the therapy and the work. Everyone says it, but talk the talk, walk the walk. You know, I think Walter could have taken a little bit more time and had his fun. There's nothing wrong with that. But you know, Sabrina, I'm proud of her. She's a true queen. And I'm proud that she was, you know, one of a few couples that definitely went through the process and didn't settle. She wasn't okay with just walking away with someone just for show and TV. She was like, no, this is my real life I got to get back to. And I'm super proud of her. She's a queen.
Hearing you loud and clear. All right, cool. Tyrone, what's your thoughts? Walter, Sabrina situation. There different side to it, maybe another angle. Because, you know, Walter did express, you know, some strong sentiments that there was some, you know, Sabrina wasn't as clean as she was coming out to be. You know what I'm saying?
So I watched all of Sabrina's. My bad, Walt. I only caught the first 2.5 hours of Walter. But I do talk to Walter, right? And, you know, of course, I talk to Sabrina. So I do understand, you know, both their sides. I do applaud Sabrina for making her choice. But I get both sides. Everybody's journey was like different. And I imagine not everyone cut off, you know, their personal life so they could just focus on the show, right? And focus on the journey in the process, right? I know I did, but it was difficult. I'm not sure what everyone else is doing. So you know, I get both sides. I really don't have anything bad to say. I'm just hoping that they can figure it out. I was Team Walter from the beginning. You know what I mean? You know, the first time Walter said, you know, I saw Sabrina and, you know, I felt it again, right? Like that hit home, right? And I really, really wanted that for him. And it's because like he was the first person I met when I first got there. And then I was also on their first date because it was 4 of us. And you know, I saw the connection together from what I saw in the little time that I was there. You know, it was always Sabrina. I almost said something at the reunion, but you know, there's things that I didn't see, so I kept quiet. But you know, in my eyes, and from the talks that we've always had, it was always Sabrina. I just felt like, you know, although they were trying to be adults and work things out, there was just some things that they just, you know, couldn't agree with, couldn't look back on. And then they finally just reached that point of no return. And although the timing of it all may not sit well with Walter, you know, it is what it is.
Before you go, Tyrone, there is a question. There is a question that needs to be asked. Walter said Sabrina was going to pick you. Were you aware of this?
That was news to me. Yeah, that was news. You know, we were cool. Sabrina and I was cool. We had a really strong connection. You know, we had conversations about the future, all that. It just felt like, you know, when I saw Sabrina, it just felt like my life was coming back full circle, right? And I remember calling up my friends and being like, once you see the cast, you're gonna probably already tell, you know, who I picked, right? That's what I was telling my friends, you know, the first week. So I get it. So to answer your question, that was news to me, huh?
Do y'all still keep in touch?
Yeah, keep in touch. Yeah, I try to be cool with everybody.
But have you tried to pursue her any?
Maybe not in the true sense of, you know, having a relationship. But you know, there are things that, you know, I promised her that I wanted to do with her and for her, and I'm still gonna try to come through
So
with that.
where are you on that promise list?
Huh? No,
Where
it
are
was nothing. It's nothing crazy. It's just you
We need
know,
to see that tape, Tyrone.
during
Just saying.
no, like it's simple stuff. Like during, you know, the season, we talked about having dinner at a Korean restaurant, and I never got a chance to do that. So I was like, I want to fulfill that because I said I would do it.
that's sweet.
No wonder why she chose you. You're out here doing the spitting game behind the scenes as well. I hear you, T.
Oh man.
You better drop that proposition and see if you get a yes or no. You better drop that same proposition. See that same text. Corey, copy and paste that same text, bro, over to see what
Nah.
happens. You might get a different response. All right, no, cool. I hear that. I respect that. Thank you for sharing that as well, Tyrone. Jay, what was your thoughts on the Walter Sabrina situation, bro?
I got Courtney. Did you call your sister? She joining us on the live.
Oh man.
Amazing too. I feel like she got the same vibe with the curly hair, like the, you know, beautiful eyes, all the above.
Jay, what question would you ask her if she came on here?
No, just like
Sick
why
beat
she ain't my
questions.
man back? You know what I mean? Like he seems so sincere on all of his stuff, and he's the only guy so far to me from this that's always been consistent from day one to like if do what you say as a man was a person, this dude. You know what I mean? So that's all. But anyway, I all love. I'm sure she's an amazing person. You're an amazing person. I don't want no smoke, Courtney. It's all.
Stacy, get him.
Leo. Now, Stacy, hi, babe. You good? High five. Where we at? All right, good. But yeah, man, I liked their vibe from day one. I mean, it just seems like the clouds parted when they talk to each other on the scenes. And sometimes you can feel that energy come across from the screen. And usually there's maybe one couple per season. No diss to all the other couples. There's usually one couple per season where you can say, like, man, I can see them together. The way they talk to each other, they just, you know, Sabrina, you kind of have to. She doesn't let her wall down easy, and so when she does, it's a beautiful thing, and she opens up like a flower. And that's just from, I think we all on certain points have that, and so seeing them, it was pretty dope. It's pretty dope. So, you know, if it works out, but evidently, you know, Mr. Logo was the number one choice up in his mind. You know?
Crazy,
The
yo.
logo.
Putting in that work game, T. You know what I'm saying? Shooting on the buzzer overtime. That's my boy. Stacey, talk to me. What you saying? What about the Walter and Sabrina situation? Huh?
Okay, disclaimer.
Oh Lord.
I love Sabrina, Queen Brina.
God damn. It's about to go down.
But to a small degree, they were both on some bullshit. I'm gonna just say it and just be done with it. Walter,
Say what we couldn't say, babe.
you can't expect to come into the process if you still parking your dirty loins somewhere else. Like, how the hell can you focus on these women and go through the process and give this 10 women you trying to juggle plus one on the 11 women plus one on the side? Like, then, like, the purpose of Ready to Love, the reason why, and we might not all, you know, everybody has their opinions on the process and how shit's done. Yeah. However, the point, a big point of it is to do things differently because what we've been doing isn't working. So if your left hand is still over here in the cookie jar, how you expect to come over here to the whole factory, the whole bakery, and get a whole new fresh batch of cookies? How you gonna do that? And I mean cookies in the term that we think of cookies, okay? Like, I don't mean it like that. I just mean when you have distractions, right? When you have other distractions, you can't fully grow and reach the potential or the potential of other people, you know, the way that you might need to. So I think that even though he felt like this is something that I'm doing to maintain my hormones, my balance, my zen, you know, because we all have our ways of dealing with stress. He might have thought like that was just his way of working, you know, functioning. But I really do feel like it kept him from fully going through the experience. because if you think about it, him and Sabrina were pretty much locked in from the beginning. So largely, like we've seen a lot of them, and I'm not behind the scenes, so I don't know Carrie and Courtney and Lippa what y'all saw. But we did see, they came together and they kind of worked it out. Now, my issue with Sabrina is I wouldn't have been waiting around if this is something that I want, something that I want to pursue. I wouldn't be waiting around for him to call me. Like they were like in a whole standoff. Like what we heard of both of their interviews, they were in a whole damn thing. I ain't calling you. You better call me. I ain't calling him first. He better call me. And I just felt like a lot of the miscommunication and unresolved issues could have been solved with a simple phone call. But, we got our pride and all of these other things that we're leading with, and it's keeping us from, experiencing the journey to its full potential. And I mean, that's my whole take.
What I do know about Sabrina is sorry. What I do know about Sabrina, because that's my girl. What I do know about
Sabrina, no. Yeah. I love Sabrina. We chit chat, so I'm not.
But what I do know
about anything.
No, I know. But I just want to say this part of it. What I do know is she's an outspoken person. I do know she's not going to wait till the end to address things. So I'm like 95% sure she's addressed some issues or things and was waiting for him to correct it, and it still was some bullshit. So by the time they get to the bridge, she was like, you still on that bullshit. So my answer is no. But I think she was like, I know that she probably wasn't just twiddling her thumbs and doing a waiting period. But I also know that she is old school. So she likes for a man to pursue her. I'm that way too. Like, I don't want to be blowing up nobody's phone. So I know what this process is a little bit different, but if someone really wants you, because I'm sure, when whoever was into Courtney, she felt like he was into her because he was calling her. Cornelius was probably calling her. Corey was probably calling her. So that was them pursuing her. Tyrone, he was interested in Shiloh. He's calling her. He's talking to her consistently. So that's a man pursuing. But if the only time she sees him is when we're face to face and he's not calling her like she said, but I'm sure she's expressed it a few times that he might have done a few calls to cover it up. But I think she was just trying to give it a real chance. I know she really liked him because they did have like a really good connection from what I understood and from what she's told me. I know she really liked him. But it was just disappointing that he wasn't stepping up like she needed him to.
See, Courtney, part of my issue though, I mean, Carrie, part of my issue, sorry, I don't know what I was saying. Part of my issue with it is that we're women, we're feminine, we're girly, and we love to be pursued. That's true. But are we gonna learn anything from this journey, from being in this bubble with men as well as women? Like, in all that we love to be pursued, like men do like a little bit of attention back. And like, it's not gonna work if we're just sitting here waiting to be pursued. Like, we gotta give them a little reciprocation too. Like, that's it. And I'm not saying, and this is not directed towards Sabrina at all, but this is just like us and our growth and our journey. Like, at some point, we know what we like, but sometimes we need to stop and listen to what they like too, so that we can meet them halfway. And in this case, I just don't. When I heard one interview with her with Kojo, and then I heard the other one with Walter, I could see where it was just like passing like this and not this. And, if we're going to be honest and we're going to have this forum and be honest girlfriends and guy friends, then we got to call out both of our behaviors. Like, we can't just sit here and expect flowers if we ain't even going to send them a piece of chocolate candy. I'm done. Take that rug off.
Come on, Kojo.
Thank you. Do you know what? I passed out from the anointing of the Holy Spirit. I felt the movement as you spoke, sister. You were preaching. I had to cover myself. You know how it goes. Sorry, I don't know if anyone else wants to add to that. Anyone wants to add to that? Speak to that? No. I personally think both of them had their own issues. One thing I would say is, I do feel like, us men do want, because when he was comparing Shiloh and Sabrina, I kind of got it. I'm not saying it's all the way, but listen, call us a little bit. Let me you call me once in a while. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I'm also being loved from your side. It can't be one-sided. I also do think Walter played the game. He knew that he weren't calling Sabrina enough. All this, how much you meant to call someone. When you're showing interest. Do you know what I'm saying? Alternatively, Sabrina did not need to wait to the end. I'm sorry. You knew from the beginning. You knew from at least halfway through that 24 hours of him doing the same behavior it hasn't changed. Let's be honest. So old girl got her payback well and good. She waited to the end and she clocked him out and said, hey, you gonna get to the bridge? I'm gonna tell you that I ain't gonna be there for you. And that's okay. And you know what? I get it. Old girl played the game very well, which is why Walter was saying well played. And he knows he got played because he tried to play her too. He tried to lock her in position, knowing that he is half-hearted on Sabrina kind of as well. Yeah, he may have had her first, but he was never fully convinced. So I think both of them played each other, and maybe if they can remove the pride, each other, maybe there could be something there. Do you know what I'm saying? So if they can remove that, hey, maybe someone should buy them a 2 spa tickets and let them go away for a weekend and see if they can work it out, man. I mean, I ain't going to do that. That's my hard-earned money. But if one of you cast members do love them so much and think they're good together, you guys can do it. You know what I'm saying? Use that ready to love money.
On the reunion, they that ain't no money. On the reunion, when they had their conversation between each other, and I think that was on the first one, they still had a great embrace, and it still feels like they hold each other in high regard. So to me, I feel like they got a little something, if they chose to, that they could really work on it. And sometimes it takes the dust settling from the show and the emotions and the pride, and then coming back around and saying, you know what, it really wasn't that bad.
But I do agree with accountability. And I do agree that, when I was listening to Walter, you do have to reach out. It's things that you do have to do. And I understand that if
I'm sorry, Stacey, go for it. I didn't mean to derail you like that. Go for it.
I forgot.
No, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Stacey. Sorry.
My bad. Accountability, Stacey. You were talking about accountability.
Oh, it's about accountability. So, in all fairness to Sabrina too, if she's hearing that he's reaching out to multiple people, then you are going to feel a certain kind of way if he's not reaching out to you. Now, see, I would have went, hey, I ain't hear from you. What's up? I'm a little more direct. But I understand everybody's not like that. So I do feel like, while there's accountability that rests on both sides, I mean, we just got to acknowledge where, we could have
done better.
The situation.
Yeah. I rock with that. I guess the final piece to touch on was obviously, I don't know if it's a final piece, maybe you guys have another piece, but Zadia said, don't forget about me, and her relationship with Naeem. I did not know they were together because obviously the show didn't.
Who?
I mean, I didn't want to.
What? Who? What did you say?
You don't even mad.
No, we didn't.
What did you say? I didn't hear what you said.
You hear us? No, you lot are moving mad. You lot are trying to do things like it.
I really didn't hear what he said.
No, not the live demonstration. Not a live demonstration. Oh my God. Not a live demonstration.
Liva must have heard it. Carrie, who was he? Liva, who was he?
I don't know. I don't know who he's talking about.
Liva, who was he talking about?
Not a live demonstration.
And he mentioned Zadia, and she said, "Well, what about me?"
Who?
Wait, what?
It's about Zadia and Naeem. Zadia said, "I would see what about me." She was saying to.
I wrote that down. Hold up. I'm watching it. You right, girl.
No, not the audience too saying they didn't hear me. Oh man! All right.
Highlight our relationship.
I'm gonna get kicked again. Protect my shins. Wow, y'all are so mean. Somebody say, "Carrie, you're gonna get kicked again. Protect your shin." Y'all are assholes.
Oh, yes, Sadia said, "What about me?" I don't want to kind of get you guys' thoughts because I didn't know that they were together, but they revealed it on the reunion. We saw part one and we had our opinions about their relationship. Now we've seen part two. We see that they now ended up together. I do want to address something. No, 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 no. Let's focus on this. Let me not derail. What was you guys' thoughts on that particular edition that we saw on the show there, where Zadia said, "What about me?"
Courtney, would you like to start?
I knew Carrie was gonna do that. I knew you were gonna do that, Carrie. I knew it. I knew it. She was like, I'm gonna wait for Court to say something.
Listen, we'll just do the stare down.
You don't want to give them the airtime?
Are we just talking? We're just talking about the reunion, like them together or something.
I mean, the part two showed them that they're together. You know what I mean? It's part two showed that they're together and that. So I want you guys, get your thoughts on what you saw. She was asking to be acknowledged at the point in time. You know what I'm saying? She wanted the host to see them. They're also a couple as well. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, Carrie and Liva know because when we first got to the reunion.
No.
What y'all know? Ooh, tell it. What y'all know?
Carrie. So when we first got to the reunion, okay, they had the whole group on stage. They had Sydney and Phil sitting next to each other.
You got to let Libba do the voice though.
Okay, I got you.
Because I think I know what you're about to say.
Next to him. They had
you
Sydney
let
and
Libba do the voice.
Ty, you remember this too. They had Sydney and Phil sitting next to each other. They had Cornelius and Camille sitting next to each other. Who am I missing?
Aisha and Dante.
Aisha and Dante. And then it was like Zadia was on the bottom row. And then Nye was on the top row on the other side.
Yeah, I think he was next to me, I think.
So before we all are mic'd up. And Libba, what did he say?
Well, before we were mic'd up, he said, "Hey, Libba, no offense or nothing, but I'm trying to figure out why I'm sitting beside you and not sitting beside Zadia." And I said, "Well, I can move if you want me to, Nye." "I ain't gonna do that to you, sis. I'm just trying to figure it out." So pretty much a few minutes later, when the producers or whoever came out.
When Kelly walked out,
he said, "I'm trying to figure out why I'm not sitting next to Zadia." And they were like, "Don't worry, we're gonna sit you beside him. Beside her. We're just gonna do some reseating."
And they sure didn't put them beside each other. Because everybody in DC knows who's together and who's not.
Yes, who's together?
On the show, Aisha and Dante are together. Sydney and Phil are together.
Just stretching.
Carrie, Lily, do y'all know? Tyrone, do y'all know if anyone else together?
I don't know.
I don't know anybody else. I don't talk to them. So I know Dante and Aisha together. They did a really nice dinner at their house for the last part of the reunion.
It was so much fun.
So much fun. They were so loved up on and kissing on each other. They make a beautiful couple. It's real.
Courtney?
I'm
What'd
sorry.
you say,
Did you make it on time for the dinner?
I
You know
did.
how I feel.
Well, me and
If I don't
Courtney
see
made
no video.
it.
And that
What dinner?
goes
What
to
dinner are we
Phil.
talking about?
You didn't see no video, Tyrone?
For the reunion.
I said, you know how I feel. If I
Oh,
don't
Jay,
see no
the video you got on FaceTime with us?
You didn't see no video, Tyrone?
Sydney, Dante. No, I'm just joking.
That was when Carrie was over at my house and we
I'm
were
just
drinking,
joking.
trying to make. We missed part 2 of the reunion. We had to rewatch it.
We did.
You ain't. Yeah, I missed too.
You ain't see no video, Tyrone? You didn't see no pictures of them together? I mean, Zadia put up a picture up on her Instagram though. She said that she showed some really nice, photos of them, her and Naeem together.
Yeah, I don't know if they're together or not. I mean, I'm certain that they're friends at the very least, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
My boy Naeem.
Definitely friends.
He in a sunken place. Someone needs to grab him. Tyrone, now you be your boy, man. You need to grab him, man. He in a sunken place.
I know somebody told us that somebody told them that they were not together at the reunion for real, for real.
God damn.
That's what I heard.
Tyrone, save the boy. Save the boy. Tyrone, you know how it is, man. You know how us men don't need to be saved. We need each other.
I'll just say this.
Oh?
Shit. I wouldn't have been able to confirm it before the reunion. I guess that's probably the best way to say it, right? At the reunion, I want to say I was surprised to see how close they were being, but it was new. I guess I could just say it like that. But I was rooting for them, you know, in the end.
Who are you
And they're still
for?
Naeem and Zadia, right? This is before, like, mind you, this is before the conversation. This is before the peach comment, before the argument. They came in, they say they was together. Boom, let them be together. I'm rooting for them, right? Because if it was me, I would want the same thing.
Right, correct.
And that's about all I know. They still
Tyrone's rooting for everybody black, okay?
Together.
And we appreciate that, sir.
You rooting for everybody black. Ty loves everybody, okay? Literally Tyrone is the cast member that gets along with everybody, and
we appreciate that.
We love him for that. We love him for that.
Anybody see them kiss?
I support everyone to a fault.
T, did you see any evidence that they kiss? Did he touch it?
Unless he sees the video.
I was just saying, did you see them kiss? Did you see evidence? You know what I'm saying, Jay? Did you see evidence, T?
You don't have that,
Jay.
You didn't see no evidence, T? Did he even have his hand on her lower nape?
No, he just had his arm on the sofa like anybody.
You didn't even have it on the. You didn't even see him go on the hand on the lower nape. You didn't even see that.
I mean, you know, we're scrutinizing like pictures. No. We're there for hours, right? You gonna have the hand on the booty the whole time.
Did you see hand on the booty? Did you see hand on the booty?
Tyrone probably needs to see a video.
How you not looking? What was you not looking? Why was you not looking, sir?
Huh? I wasn't looking. I know what you're trying to do, Kojo. You're trying to throw that out there, and then you're gonna do your patented Kojo lean. And you just get like this until everybody talks.
Not you peeping the game. Okay, so nobody saw any evidence. Okay, that's good to know. I mean, that's not good to know, but that's a shame. You know, it'd be nice to have some evidence to kind of maybe hopefully there's something going on there. I mean, maybe they are. Maybe you don't know. We don't know. So maybe they wait until marriage. Okay, cool. Jay, why you didn't know for a day? Maybe they're waiting until marriage. Maybe they, no sex before marriage. Maybe they're also taking a vow of celibacy as well. Maybe they also, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, no touching, no kissing, no hugging. It's good. It's good for you. Learn about each other and know each other on a deeper level and plane. Take to a spiritual place. All right, cool. So was there anything else on the reunion that anybody wanted to address? Because I think I've passed my list. Was there anything else I've missed? Kerry, what's in your mind, Kerry?
Kerry got something to say. She just don't know.
And Kerry, why did it not come up? Why did your kick thing didn't come up on the reunion?
What didn't come up in the reunion?
The kick thing didn't get shown on the reunion.
They just didn't show it. It came
why didn't they show that?
Well, because y'all, there's nothing to show on film, so it wouldn't make sense to a lot of people. But we absolutely addressed it.
Oh,
it got a little heated, but it was addressed. It's been addressed a couple of times.
Listen, let me tell you something. Kojo, if the cameras follow RTLDC offline, then on camera, they'd have had a season now. They should have followed us in DC off season. We literally, I mean, I don't care what the cast was saying. Oh, we hung out one time at the rooftop. Y'all, we was thick as thieves the whole summer.
Which is why I don't buy Frank's excuse about why he couldn't see my mean. He was chatting crud to me. I love you, Frank, but you were chatting crud to me.
But we hung out every week. Did we not hang out every week?
Yeah, we did.
At least once a week, the cast hung out. Y'all would have got more footage off camera than y'all did on camera. Like, what y'all, and you know what the worst thing about it? A lot of people don't understand we're on contract. We're not supposed to hang out. A lot of the reason why is because if something happens off site, you can't explain it on camera. This is why they say don't hang out.
It's not that hard.
Like me, it's Kerry and Tyrone. They could be in love on camera. They hang out. Tyrone's wallet, he left it at home. He stuck her with the tab. She had to get, a bunch of stuff happens that night. They get back on camera the next day. You can't explain why Carrie ain't fucking with Tyrone. So that's why they tell us.
How hard is it to do that? How I still think that's a bit of a cop out. All you gotta do is daily check-ins. Who's feeling who? They can ask you mad questions about other people and ask leading questions to make you say some crap and nonsense, which has nothing, which is leading, but they can't ask a simple question on a daily basis. Who are you feeling? Now, when you tell me who you're feeling, you're gonna tell me, listen, Tyrone left his wallet at home. Now, all you gotta do is film the conversation between you to say, hey, what? We gotta get you two to film. Because you're spending so much energy forcing people to go on dates that they probably didn't want to go on, or forcing people not to go on dates. You could spend the other time and energy asking people, who are you feeling? You feeling that person?
Coach O,
go on a date.
Coach O, you can't say that. The reason why I'm saying specifically this season, the scenario I just gave was like a hypothetical, of course. Like yeah. That's something very minuscule. The stuff that we dealt with every week with RTLDC was stuff that RTLDC could not cover. Like literally, it was like a fight was about to happen, a kick happened, an alleyway happened. Like it was something every week, something happened, and RTL was like, we can't put this on camera because what if something comes out later that gets us involved in a legal situation? So we're just not going to touch the surface. The only reason why the Shiloh situation came to TV is because Shiloh asked to meet with nephew Tommy to bring it. It was not Phil. It was not a production thing. Shiloh was supposed to go on a family or friends date the next day. She didn't show up, and she reached out to production and said, I want to sit down with nephew Tommy only. That's the only reason why the Shiloh and Phil situation came about. It would have never came to TV if she didn't request that. So, I was just saying, like, a lot of stuff happened off camera. Our season was kind of boring. I'm not going to lie to you. It was boring on camera. Like, more stuff happened off camera than anything.
Yeah, but that's like a very extraneous situation where something extreme happens, right? Like I'm talking about dating wise. If we're not liking each other, it just takes someone at the next stage that when you're coming to filming, who's liking who at the moment? Quick question about who's liking who. I talk to Libba, who are you feeling at this moment? Top 3. She gives me top 3. I go, what's the reason for top 1, top 2, top 3? That's it. Then I put you on a date with that person. You have a conversation. Now, it might not address the actual issue, but at least we're going to get a conversation we can film. Like, it was just Higgy to Haggy to Higgs this whole season. And it's like, that's a due diligence of you trying to tell a story of what you do. You ask questions. It shouldn't be me coming at the end of the season trying to piece it together. Rev, like, we're all trying to piece it together. Now we have to interview you guys for 4 hours to try and piece it all together. Because the storytelling, you know what I'm saying? Like, so this season has been one of the worst storytellings out of all the Ready to Loves. All the rest of them made sense. This one didn't make no sense at all, bruv. Like, and it's not because there were behind the scenes stuff happening. It's because we're not asking questions when people are getting onto camera. And if you're not going to ask those questions, nobody's going to know.
Well, the other thing too is that there's a lot that is left out that was filmed that did not air, right? So there are a lot of dates that happened. So when you look at it, people are asking questions. Well, how did Amin end up with so and so or whatever else? So there is a lot that was not included. And hell, you can even see that at the reunion. I mean, and I don't want to sound like Sean right now, but look, okay. I had a segment. And I talked and I had a nice little black girl magic moment with Tanika. That wasn't aired. You know, we had a nice little moment. Lamont had his moment. Carrington had his moment. And they cut us out like we were obsolete, you know, like we didn't matter. So, and a lot of things are disposable, right? So, that's been the basis for a lot of the different episodes. And they just, I don't know if they were tired of us. I don't know what the situation was, but and the other thing is they did not introduce each of the mates or members at the first episode. Like that seems like that is something that is a staple. You introduce people. Hey, Tyrone, this is Tyrone. And actually, did you do that, you guys?
No. No, we didn't do that.
She went right into it with Sean and Sydney, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, so there's a lot of oddities that took place.
All right, let's end it. Oh, go for it, go.
No, I'm just saying it was a lot of first timers on this season. A lot of first.
So this is the first season where Tommy wasn't at the reunion. And how do you feel like that affected you guys? I feel like she did a good job. for what she could, right? Like Tommy develops a really kind of like almost like a big brother fatherly relationship
Love that.
with everybody on the show, and there's a huge amount of respect. We've gone through the journey with him. So how did it feel for you guys to not have him there, and then you kind of had somebody that was subbing in? How do you think that that affected the actual the outcome of the reunion?
I think a lot of the foolishness probably wouldn't have happened if Tommy was there, because we all respect. Not that we all respect Tanika, but we don't. That was our first time meeting her. She didn't really know the backstory of a lot of things. I think Tommy would have kind of calmed things down. He wouldn't have let a man argue with women. I know he would. He makes men respect the women during the process. Period. So I think a lot of things that foolery wouldn't have went down like it went down if Tommy was there. So.
I think that there's a certain level of trust that the cast has in Tommy, and so they probably would have felt more comfortable talking about certain things, because there were some awkward moments where people did not know how to respond. So, for instance, I think Phil was asked about, is he ready to propose to, and we're like, damn, it just wrapped up like a month ago. You know what I mean? So, but I think that there's a certain level of trust that we all as castmates have in Tommy. I do think that he would have held people a little bit more accountable. I think that because he was involved in a lot of things and mentoring people, that it would have been a different narrative. But I do think that Tanika did a great job, but I certainly feel like it would have been a different dynamic.
So I actually talked to Tanika, and we all had to get COVID. We all had to get COVID tested on like Thursday, Friday to film on Sunday. So obviously Tommy tested positive, and they had to get somebody quick. I don't recall, and I'm trying to think exactly, but I think she had to watch. Okay, this is exactly what happened. So when they got Tanika Ray, she was up to date with the episodes. A lot of people don't realize we filmed the reunion, third episode? It was second or third episodes that we filmed it. So when they booked Tanika Ray, she told me that they had to send her all the episodes in order for her to catch up on the tea, on what's going on. So when she flew out from LA, she had like 48 hours to like watch everything, literally every episode. We were on episode 3, we finished on like 12. So you know what I'm saying? I think she did a great job with what she was dealt with, but I definitely miss Tommy. I think I agree with y'all. A lot of stuff wouldn't have happened. Tommy's that dude. He's like family. He rocked with us the whole season, so he was definitely missed.
That's real. Anybody else want to add to that?
Ty.
Yeah, I think so. First, Tanika did a great job. I think Tommy's presence alone, would have changed the dynamic of everything. But I think there were certain situations where, I felt like maybe they wanted the intensity to be high, because we had almost an hour or two of the girls, kind of going at it. We took a break, came back, and then what was the caption on the screen? The very next segment, it was like the girls fight. So now we have to discuss the girls fight after all the women was just going at it again. So I'm interested to see like how that would have played out if Tommy were there. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
I think the Niam situation would have definitely been different, just because I've seen him on stage when a guy gets out of line talking to a female, the show stops. Hey, what you not going to do today? We're not about to talk to women like that. You know what I mean? So it would have definitely been, and I think Niam would have respected that, right? He would have respected, because Tommy has that that ability to talk to us in a certain way where it's like, you know what, you're right, bro, my bad.
He was going on and on, on and on. It was
yeah, because whenever the viewer sees it and it's like a long segment, in real life, it was for real long. Like if it's 5 minutes on TV, it means it was like an hour and a half during the actual filming. Yeah.
Literally, he went Sydney back, Carrie back, Sabrina back, me back. I was like, this is like ping pong at this point. Like it was definitely a lot longer than what it was. So yeah, I agree. Tommy would have checked that at the door. Absolutely.
Coach, I had a quick question. Is this okay?
You can go for it, sir.
So we talked about the Shiloh incident from the first time, and then of course there was, I don't know if there was going to be more that was aired possibly for the second part of the reunion, but we didn't talk about it after the fact because there was, somebody said about legal and this and that. So is she okay? Everything. I mean, I don't follow on the IG. I should, but what's going on with that situation?
I think Shiloh blocked all of us.
Damn.
Yeah,
So
she
I'll
blocked
speak
y'all.
on it. I'll speak on it because I feel like
She ain't blocked me. She blocked y'all. My minerals are strong. Okay.
Zinc, magnesium, and everything, boy.
I will speak on it though, because I'm not blocked. A lot of people don't know this, but me and Shiloh were actually like super thick as thieves during. I mean, Libba, you know this. Carrie, you know this. Me and Shiloh were tight. Like we were really tight, and obviously, I've known Sydney outside of the process. I've been friends with that girl for years. But in the process, Sydney came halfway through the season. Shiloh was my girl. Like that was my absolute girl. We called, we hung out. I've stayed at her house before. We were tight. So that night that the Shiloh and Phil situation happened, that's really what kind of pressed us apart because of everything that happened. It was a lot. It could have definitely been handled differently.
Was it your birthday party?
Yeah, so it was my birthday party. It was right after the cabin trip. Yeah, I just got back from LA. I was in LA for like 3 or 4 days. I obviously hit up some of the close cast members. I was close with a lot of them, but I was there. Phil was there. Shiloh was there. And my big brother Ty was there as well.
You're good. You're good.
Why
You're
are you
good.
not want to be put in this?
I mean, if we're
You're
gonna
good.
tell the story, you might as well tell the story straight. Let's not even beat around the bush. But yeah, Ty was there. Ty pulled up for me. He pulled up for my birthday. You got, like I said, we're tight. That's my big brother in real life. So, we went over Shiloh's house. We were pre-gaming. We had a couple drinks, and I had kind of told Shiloh. I was actually talking to someone else at the time. Carrie and Libba had met him. I'm still talking to him, kind of sort of to this day. I had kind of told Shiloh that, hey, I just kind of want to give you a heads up. I know I'm not in the process anymore. We're still friends, but like I still communicate with some of the cast members from the show. Like I'm still friends with some of them. And I said more specifically, I don't know what's going on in the process and on film, but I communicate with Phil as well. He's my friend. And she had asked me, oh, so y'all communicate kind of to what level? And I was like, we're just friends. I'm friends with a lot of the people from the show. I don't think that sat well with her. I don't think it really sat well with her to a level of like, I guess she was kind of wondering, in the process, why am I still communicating with Phil? I did explain to her, hey, look, I'm talking to somebody else. I'm still keeping in touch with all the cast, as they reach out to me. It's my birthday. Let's just go out and have a good time. She reached out to Phil on the way over and she called him and she was like, are you still talking to any cast members in the process? And Phil was like, what are you talking about? And she was like, are you still talking? Are you still keeping in touch with any of the cast members? And Phil was like, I'm not understanding where this is coming from. And she directly asked him, are you still talking to Courtney? And he was like, yeah, me and Courtney are cool. We're friends. Now, mind you, we are just friends. I'm literally talking to somebody else. So the argument started on the way over there. It was already bad blood. I looked at Shiloh and I was like, hey, are you cool with Phil coming to my birthday party or not? Because no matter what, that was my girl on the show. I'm not here for nothing else. I ride for who I ride for. If she didn't want Phil to come, she should have, just definitely reached out about that. But I asked her, I said, are you cool with him coming? She's told me yes. So he got invited. After that, we pull up to Rose Bar, we park the car. She asked me, is it cool if Tyrone comes? Because Tyrone, I didn't invite you directly. Shiloh invited you. She asked if it was cool if you come. And I was like, of course, that's my brother. I forgot about it. Like my phone's been blowing up. I forgot. We get inside Rose Bar, we have drinks. Ty buys me drinks. Phil pulls up, he buys drinks. We're having a good time. Everybody's just having a good time. I have like 40, 50 people there that I'm kind of moving through the club, kind of talking to, having drinks with. The argument kind of continues there. We get outside of the club. We walk to the car, and the argument still was going on. just going back and forth about what was going on in the process. I drove her there. So we get to the car. Mind you, like I said, the club closes at 3:00. We get to the car. I hop back in the car. At the time in August, I called the guy that I was talking to. I'm on FaceTime because it was raining outside. So I hop back in the car. I got on a dress and heels. She's standing outside the car. Her and Phil are having a conversation. And Phil is very calm, like very calm. He's just kind of talking to her like, I don't know where this is coming from. Phil didn't even drink like that. So I think she was emotionally charged. And I think it was a moment of, and I've been in this situation too. So I don't want to like sit there and say, I don't understand where she's coming from when we have been drinking or we've had a few drinks and our feelings come out and we just express that. I think that's really where it came from. She was going back and forth with him, back and forth with him. So I'm in the car, y'all. I'm nice and toasty. I'm letting them have their moment because it's not between me. I'm not in the process. I kind of roll down the window. I'm like, hey, are you guys good? Phil's like, yo, y'all just need to go home. He's trying to encourage us to like, just go home. She gets upset and she walks off. And Phil looks at me and I'm like, please go get her. Like, please go get her. Again, I'm wearing heels. I'm wearing a dress. Like, he's standing outside the car. Can you please just go get her? He goes to get her. The situation happened. I got a text message from her when she had walked away saying, hey, it's okay. You can go to my house. I'm like, I'm not leaving you. You rode here with me. I'm not leaving. So I waited in my car. She comes back to the car maybe 15 minutes later. She's a little, again, same situation, a little bit emotionally charged. Again, this is my girl. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. And she was just distraught. She really wasn't talking about it much. She was just kind of distraught. She was like upset. And I was like, I don't know. You've kind of been carrying this emotion throughout the night. So, you know, once I kind of heard like Phil's side of the story and the once I heard Shiloh's side of the story, it kind of bothered me because when she had walked away and the situation happened, she texted me as if it was okay for me to leave her. And I feel like if she was in a position where it was okay to be left, like, you just don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not leaving you. I'm not going nowhere without you. You came here with me. You're leaving with me. So why, when the situation happened, did you text me and say, hey, it's okay. It's cool. Go to my house. I'm okay. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of bothered me like a lot in the situation. But I mean, that's kind of how the situation happened. After that, it kind of rubbed me the wrong way because it got blown up to more than what it was. And then it got back on camera and I just didn't think it really wasn't necessary. I still have a lot of love for her. I have nothing bad to say about her. But again, this goes back to me saying about the cast members having time to go through therapy and really heal and go through the processes. I'm not denying any triggers that she's ever had because I don't know what she's been through. But I definitely think that this season of cast members really should have taken the time to heal and find out if they're really ready to love. Because if you don't love yourself and you don't give yourself to just really just big up yourself and just motivate yourself and just be a better person in life, how can you love someone else if you're not ready? You know what I'm saying? So I just think she just needs to go through a healing process. I think that situation got blown up super, super big. Wish her nothing but the best. Still have, you know, mad love for her. And that's just that, you know, I don't think it should have gotten to that level. I'm gonna be honest with you. It was definitely alcohol involved. So there's that.
So it sounds like she was already kind of hot or bothered about whatever the issue was en route to there. Drinks happen, like whatever if you get inebriated, whatever that, if you were happy and having a great time, you're going to be happier and having a great time. And if you're upset about something, the alcohol is only just going to be gas on the fire. Okay.
Yeah.
I
mean, we were drinking.
How she felt or whatever her triggers were, but that makes a little bit more sense. I appreciate your first-hand point of view.
I mean, we pre-gamed. We pre-gamed at her house. We pre-gamed at her house. We drank at Rose Bar. And I mean, even after Rose Bar, when we drove back, I stayed at her house that night. So, you know, I was pretty much there throughout the whole thing. And even when the situation happened, like, as much as people want to have their own perspectives on how it happened, again, I think it was, in my personal belief, it was heightened. I have been in situations where, again, alcohol has been involved and your emotions are heightened. It gets elevated. You can't process things. That's why a lot of people are like, let's just talk about this tomorrow, girl. And then the next day you're apologizing, or the next day you're like, damn, I said that. Damn, I did this, you know? So I think that situation definitely didn't have to go like that had we had the conversation sober. And mind you, it's my birthday, so I'm having a good time, but I'm also trying to figure out, why is this argument on the way there? Why is this argument at the club? Why is this argument after the club? Like, it's just going on and on. It did not stop. So again, I understand the triggers. I get it. You know, I've been in situations where I understand triggers can happen, but it didn't have to get to that point. I'm gonna be honest. On a mature adult level, it did not have to get to that point. We could have all handled that situation a lot better. So, yeah.
Thank you for clearing that up, Courtney. Appreciate that. Well, guys, I promised you 2.5 hours, and we've breached 2.5 hours.
Wait, what about Aisha and Dante? Are we not going to celebrate them?
We're going to celebrate them outside of the offline. Yeah, we're going to celebrate them. Aisha and Dante, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much. Listen, I promised 2.5 hours. I'm going to keep to my promise, okay?
We love you, Aisha.
2 hours, ready.
Right.
Say you love them. Say you love them. We love them.
Beautiful black.
We love them. They're so stinking cute.
We love them.
Yes.
We love them. All right. Listen, audience, it's been an absolute pleasure. All right. Listen, I know. This season has been one of a crazy one. Twists, turns, up, down. You know, there's been so much going on, but we go again. Next week we start all over again, and we go with a new season, new cast. And I'm telling you, listen, that's what I'm gonna say. It's gonna be interesting for the new season. So, audience, first, actually, before we go, you're right. Someone needs to sing "Happy Birthday" to Tyrone before we go.
Doing Stevie Wonder version? Which one we doing?
Go for it, Jay.
Oh, no. It's gonna be a group thing. I'm not.
Oh, okay. So we all doing it.
First of all, man to man. I mean, that's my guy and all, but there's certain.
Jay, you've been throwing me alley oops all night.
Hey, bro.
All right.
Who's singing the birthday to the logo? Come on. We're gonna do a group.
Yes, we'll do as a group.
A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday. Oh, you know 1, 2, yeah. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
There we go. My chef.
Go, Tyrone. Go,
Mind you to the audience, my apologies. It's ready to love, not ready to sing. So
You know, it's all over the place because we're probably a little delayed on the screen.
Yo,
Sorry,
I love that. I love
Thank
that.
y'all.
happy birthday logos. That's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Since it is your birthday, Tyrone, I'm gonna let you close out. Give us a final sentiment and words, and let you close out. We're gonna end on that, sir.
You know, I first I think it's only right that I say something about the whole Shiloh thing, right? And I just say, you know, I've never held back like my feelings or anything, and I probably did get a little bit emotional earlier because, you know, admittedly, she was someone that I cared about, right? So in the end, it pained me, you know, as a man to not be able to be there, you know, to either help out or protect someone that I cared about. And the fact that, you know, I don't know, right, still kind of gets to me every single day, right? I know how she felt. I know what she told me. But in the end, I wasn't there, right? And the fact that I wasn't there still kind of gets to me, but I'm good. It's my birthday. Thank y'all for the song.
My guy, gang.
Happy birthday.
We appreciate you. Happy birthday, Tyrone.
Happy
All right,
birthday.
21 again, my brother. 21 again. Listen, audience, it's been a pleasure. Until next week, I was going to say until next season, but it's until next week. We're going to see you again, all right? We appreciate you guys. Stay locked, stay loaded. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. There's not much I wouldn't do. I appreciate you guys.